Uh, um,
You all right?
goddamn,
man?
guys. Goddamn. No, I'm not. I'm not, man. Sometimes you get stumped. It's not all the time, but when it happens, man. But goddamn.
Goddamn. Goddamn is right, man. Goddamn is right. I knew it. Look, man. How's everybody doing today? Welcome back to another edition, bro. We are 3 weeks away, which seems like a long time, but I feel like we're going to be there before we even know it, from episode 300 of Unscripted, man, which is wild. We just hit episode 300 of the news, so it's crazy. We are already coming up on the 300th for Unscripted, man. Pretty crazy. But how's everybody doing? Thank you guys for joining us for yet again another edition of Unscripted. This is episode 297. If this is your first time watching, you guys do not know how the show works. Every Monday, we are on here after Raw with Unscripted. Every Friday, we are on here at 3 p.m. Central with the news. And for the pay-per-views for both WWE and AEW, we are live directly after the show goes off the air with the official post-show review, man. So, with that, if you guys did miss this past Friday's edition of the news, you guys can now find that live on all platforms. That is Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and if you want to see it first, join us right here live every single Friday, like I said, at 3 p.m. Central for the news, man. Also, if you guys have not got a chance to get your hands on some of the official NHP merchandise, you guys can now find this live on the merch shop. That is bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video, man, where you can find the brand new slept on design as well as all the other OG designs live on there as we speak, man. Again, that is bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video, man. And with that being said, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know who we are here at NHP, I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very show, and as for the other half, we got my man Sir K here. Sir K, go ahead and let the people know what it is you are smiling about today.
I don't know if I can, in certain context, but I'll let you guys know. I'm smiling. I'm here with you guys, man, and Raw was decent, so I got to watch a decent, pretty solid episode of Raw, and I'm here, man. I'm here talking with you guys, hanging out, talking. Always my favorite part about Mondays, man. So here to do that, man. Everything's been good. Just been chilling out, man. We got Backlash coming up. When is Double or Nothing weekend?
I believe I
What's the
want to
date?
say that is May 24th.
May 24th. Okay, it is. I thought it was the next weekend after. Okay, cool. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Just waiting for these weekends. We got Backlash, Double or Nothing, man. I am excited. I'm excited, man. I've just been chilling out, man. Like Toronto was asked, how's life? How's the family? Life's good. Family's good. How is everybody doing in the live chat? How's everyone doing watching the replay? What about you, bro? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Just chilling, man. Just chilling. Yeah, that pretty much about it, man. Just been chilling, enjoying the time and whatnot. So enjoying the time and just chilling out, bro. Chilling out. Been enjoying the NBA playoffs, which started a couple weeks back. So that's been pretty cool, as it always is. But yeah. Other than that, man, nothing too much, man. Nothing too much. Yeah, like you said, watched a pretty solid episode of Monday Night Raw tonight. So I was very happy with that. I was very happy with a lot of stuff on the show. Questions about some stuff on the show, but happy about it happy about it. The show overall. I gotta say, one thing I was most happy about, and I'm not blaming anybody specifically for this. Monday Night Raw felt fast tonight. I can't tell you how fucking slow Monday Night Raws have felt for the longest time. And last week's episode, the Raw After Mania was good. It was a good episode of Raw. I can give them that. But man, did like the half of those Raws building into Mania, 90% of these shows lately have felt slow. So I can appreciate a Monday Night Raw that does feel like it's actually worth my time, and that I'm not it's not a chore to sit there and watch. So I gotta appreciate that. But Manager Logan, bro. I have the scores pinned up on my home screen. And I literally just seen the Orlando Magic go up, the 8th seeded Orlando Magic go up 3-1 on the Detroit Pistons, bro. On the fucking 1 seed. I guess everybody was right, man. I was hearing a lot of chatter that the Pistons were pretenders and not contenders, and it seems that, again, they're not out yet, but they certainly look like they could be on the road to being pretenders. I hope not. I like the Pistons, but I definitely did not expect that for a first round matchup, and so far it looks like OKC's on the way to sweeping Phoenix. Looks like it. So unless they can pull a miracle off, but it looks like they're only up 6, but this is the Thunder we're talking about. So more than likely just looking towards a sweep. However, wild stuff. The Rockets is a really crazy situation. I gotta talk to Mr. Welcome Down and cut these shit off about that, because I need to know what's up with this Houston Rockets, bro. 3-1 on the Lakers, man. Pretty crazy.
Gotta know what's up. Exactly.
However, or down 3-1. I think I said up. Down 3-1 on the Lakers. Wild work. Bro. What what's going on in WWE, man? What is going on in WWE? Now, Monday Night Raw tonight was a good show. What the fuck happened on Friday? Sir K, what happened?
Man, Friday was crazy, man. We were live, and during our live, normal news episode every Fridays at 3 p.m. Central, during us being live, man, we there was the whole set of releases, man, and there was even some after we got done being live, and the ones that happened when we were off television, or we were off when they went, goddamn, I can't talk. When we were off the live stream, man, those ones that dropped after that were even fucking crazier, man. That shit was wild.
Absolutely nuts. When we were live, we were at 8. We were at 8 releases, okay? When we got off, the number jumped all the way to about, I think it's 21 or 22.
It's crazy now. It's definitely in its 20s.
Friday, we got a list here. We have the Wyatt 6. Wild. We have the Wyatt 6, Zoe Stark, Alba Fire, Andre Chase, and Dante Chen are the ones that were released on while we were live. Since then, I have a full list here. We have Luca Crucifino, which, if you guys don't know who Luca Crucifino is, he is the D'Angelo family guy that turned into a rave partier seemingly overnight. I don't know. I guess somehow the mobster found out what ecstasy was, and I don't know how that I don't know how that story necessarily worked into itself, but that was what happened. That was what happened. But the next one is Trill London. Trill London is gone.
Damn, man. What group was he in? A group?
I don't think so. I actually don't know.
Oh, okay.
He might have been an Evolve guy.
Oh,
Malik.
he might have been.
Yeah.
I'm fucking with Trill London, man. Why are you laughing?
I'm not laughing, bro. Malik. Malik Blade. What the fuck?
What? It sounds like a fucking 2K generated name. It sounds like who you're forced to feud with in fucking 2K Mine Rise. Fucking Malik Blade.
Chris Island. This is gonna be a rough
Are we
list.
are
Oh
we looking
man.
at the WWE roster or the BCW roster?
No, this is the
Like,
Law
God,
roster.
no, for
Los
real,
Angeles.
bro.
These are the motherfuckers wrestling in the Japan Dome in the 2K career mode. Where's El Mago Jr.?
Like, dude,
Okay.
literally, you could slot El Mago Jr. from 2K into this list, and he would blend in perfectly.
Okay.
That's how bad.
Okay. I'm not laughing at
I'll
them
see.
losing their job. I'm laughing at the fucking names. Okay. Next up, we have Tyreek.
Last name. That's it.
That's it. Just Tyreek.
Tyreek.
And the next name, we have Tyson. And next,
Kenny Omega. Is it just Tyson? Another just Tyson?
Just Tyson. Tyson and Tyreek. Maybe they were a tag team. I don't know.
It might have been.
And next up, we have Serena Linton. Linton. Yep.
All right. That's
Next, we have Tyra May Steele.
Tyra May Steele. Man. TMS.
Oh, brother. Okay.
With TMS.
All right. On to the normal names. Alba Fire, Zoe Stark, Andre Chase, Joe Gacy, Eric Rowan, Apollo Crews is a new name added. Apollo Crews finally.
Evaded, man. 11 years
Yes.
of evading, and it finally hit him, man. That sucks, dude. That sucks.
This dude, I gotta say, I'm very shocked he made it this long. And honestly, I think he would have been a part of last year's had he not been hurt. Even though I can't really say that because they release people hurt all the time. But I can't believe he made it this long, to be honest. But Apollo Crews is finally, I don't want to say finally gone. That sounds mean. Not that I didn't want him there, but like, finally couldn't evade the releases anymore. I'm just shocked. He made it this long. Dexter Loomis, obviously, another huge set of names gone. The fucking Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, are gone from WWE.
After what? Not even 2 years in the company?
Not even, bro.
Instantly won the tag titles, and they're already gone, man. What the hell, man? And ooh, I can't wait till Friday to get to the reasons behind these a lot of the SmackDown related cuts, man. But dude, what tag division do you have over there, bro? You got Wepa Up as your champions, and you released the Motor City Machine Guns, bro. That's wild.
Which, bro, we were literally last week talking about how Motor City would have been a pretty cool, like, look with Seth Rollins if Rollins needed help against the Vision. He could have said he needed to call in, the big guns or something like that, and he gets the fucking Motor City Machine Guns. That would have been sick. That would have been fucking sick, bro. Dude, I seen a tweet and it perfectly encapsulates the Motor City Machine Guns getting released by WWE. The tweet said, it said something along the lines of, they must be obsessed with hating good wrestling, or they must hate good wrestling.
They got to, bro.
Dog.
They got to. There's no way they don't.
I'll put a spin on that tweet myself. I'll go ahead and say Triple H must hate tag team wrestling, which is absolutely wild to me, because I know damn well if the Motor City Machine Guns were in NXT in 2018, they would have been the shit, and they would have had banger ass matches with Red Dragon, the Undisputed Era, or Axe and Smash, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. Bro, what are we doing? What the hell are we doing, bro? Your tag team division looks the way it does, and your first fucking thought is to get rid of the Motor City Machine Guns, two tag team pioneers in the business. Nice job, Paul. You fucking moron.
while their two sets of champions, bro, are Austin Theory and Logan Paul, and R-Truth and Damian Priest, and you release Motor City Machine Guns.
Yep.
That is fucking a wild move, bro. That's wild. They hate tag team wrestling, bro. Triple H hates it.
He has to at this point. The next name, Santos Escobar.
Okay.
To me, bro, this one has Gallows and Anderson written all over it. Remember when they did Gallows and Anderson Dirty as Hell in 2019 and they re-signed them with those giant money deals just to come back? I think they did it to Braun Strowman too. They signed them to these giant deals, come back around less than a year later, and they say, you know what? We don't think you're worth it. So, you know, we're just going to release you. Like, why? And not to mention, too, Santos just got re-signed, and he just got hurt.
He just got re-signed. He just got hurt, and it was literally like a whole big news thing. Like he got a big, like WWE AAA contract to be over there, and you just let him go for no reason. Why'd you re-sign him in the first place? You dead ass. That was like September that happened, bro.
Yep.
Like, what is the point to that?
Yep. That was not long. Excuse me. That was not long ago at all. At all. So yeah, so much for his big money creative and his you know, his injury. So I guess they you know, it is what it is to WWE. Wonderful. Next name, obviously, the next two names we know about already: Nikki Cross and Bo Dallas. Tragic, absolutely fucking tragic. I'll get back to them in a second. The next two names, Zelina Vega and Aleister Black. I repeat, Zelina Vega and Aleister Black have departed the company. They have been released.
Brother, man. Naughty deadass. The next day was Black's 1-year anniversary of being re-signed, bro. That is a crazy fact. But like, he was just on television. He was just beating Randy Orton a month prior. That shit's wild to me. The fact that they are okay with releasing someone that prominent on television, that's not a good sign. That's not a good look for your company and its priorities.
This is not. Oh my god, that to me, this one to me is truly one of the most ridiculous ones out there, bro. This dude has a pinfall victory against Randy Orton and Sami Zayn this year. Okay? Not to mention, he was supposed to be, or originally planned to be, involved with the Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton feud. Like, he was that brought up in creative. He was that much of a relevant figure in the creative room, to the point where he was the original plan to be the devil on Randy Orton's shoulder. He was going to be the guy to bring back 09 Orton, not Pat McAfee. It was supposed to be Aleister fucking Black, and now he's gone. And obviously everybody's pulling. There's a lot of juicy information on him for Friday in terms of I guess his likelihood of returning to the land of the elite, or lack thereof. But dude, this dude was that brought up in creative. And obviously you see all the little clips going around of Aleister Black saying, you know, I consider my first year back in WWE a massive success. And now he's gone. So that's just wonderful, wonderful stuff, Triple H. Wonderful stuff. You love to see, not to mention, too, even when Pat McAfee was involved with the Orton and Cody stuff, you've seen Aleister Black all the time in the background, like he was supposed to be involved somewhat in this storyline. And now he's just gone. This is an absolute fumble. I was very excited when he came back to the company. I said, This dude should have been a main event player. This dude should have been in the upper echelon of SmackDown guys with the Codys and the Codys and whoever else they let be a top guy on SmackDown these days. He should have been up there with him, with them. He should have been positioned as a top heel on the brand. He should have been positioned in top storylines. Instead, he was brought back and to feud with Damian Priest. And he lost a feud. He lost the feud to Damian Priest.
He quite literally spent most of his return time in like a 7-month-long feud with Damian Priest for no reason that he lost. Yep. And dude, oh man, like when he specifically was one of those names that happened on Friday. There was a lot of talk and even like thoughts about like who that decision really came from, but later in the weekend we would get the story and we'll go in detail about it on Monday, but like that who was really making the decisions behind these releases, man. And like Triple H, bro, what you doing? You just okay with that? You're just okay and signing off all these names that you were obviously doing something with, man. And with the fact that Triple H resigned, man, I think it's good, but like in a way, I think we're gonna get a totally much worse creatively Triple H in the next coming months and years, man. And I'm really scared. And I talk about it on Friday in detail about that, man. But like the fact that Black is one of the names that he signed off on is fucking wild to me. Is wild to me.
Yes. And the last name is Kairi Sane. Look, everybody, for some reason, this one outraged people the most. And I get why. Me personally wasn't really that big a fan of Kairi Sane this run. To me, I'm just being blatantly honest, I think she's an amazing talent. I loved her work in NXT, but for whatever reason, when she came back, I think Eve Torres threw better offensive maneuvers out than Kairi Sane. I don't know what it was about this run in WWE. She hit so soft. None of her stuff looked legit like it used to. To me, it just didn't. And to me too, man. I hate to say this because again, I don't want to come off like I don't want to come off like that or nothing, bro. But like to me, Kyrie, everybody says like, oh, you didn't even give her a chance. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. They quite literally put Kairi Sane and Asuka in a program with Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. And what I seen out of that was very unimpressive stuff from Kairi Sane. Now, what I will say, she was dead center in the middle of a story that she was kind of like the linchpin of. She was in the middle of a story between Asuka and Io where Kairi was being abused by Asuka and Io was trying to pull her out of it. And you just release her in the middle of that? You can't even blow the story off? Which you could have blew it up at Mania, and then, like, you could have said now we have no use for Kairi Sane, but, like, you didn't even blow it off yet. It's still going. And now, you just made the blow-off match for Backlash, which is in, next, a week from Saturday or whatever. You made it then, and now Kairi's not involved anymore? That doesn't make any sense. Now, again, I'm not saying, that Kairi Sane should have been released or anything, but honestly, I do think she was given a fair enough chance. She was also involved in the Damage Control story that had the whole Bailey thing and all. I mean, like, people are trying to make it seem like they absolutely did nothing with her the way they did nothing with, like, a Santos Escobar or, like, an Aleister Black. I think they put her in a lot of big stuff. I just don't really think she was all that intriguing. I'm sorry. And again, Kairi Sane in the ring, this run, I was not a fan of. Now, again, I do get that a lot of people like her. I do. And I like Kairi. I really, really do. I'm not trying to make it seem like I don't like Kairi Sane, bro. But I'm just saying, man, this run from her was not that impressive, bro. It really was not, in my honest to God opinion, bro. But that's just me. I think Kairi Sane was given a fair shot, but at the end of the day, releasing her when you're literally in the middle of a story with Io and Asuka, that's the part that makes absolutely no fucking sense to me. And I don't even really think the story was that fucking good. I don't like the story, as a matter of fact. And it's been going on for how long by now? This feud has been going on for what, 10 months? Everybody complained about the MFTs and the Wyatt Six. I need to kind of see that same energy for this. But how are you feeling about Kairi Sane getting released?
I'm in the same boat with you, Ricari, man. Like, she, I don't get how she's the biggest outrage out of all these releases, respectfully, man. Again, I really liked her in NXT. I liked her matches. I liked her, whole character, and she had some charisma. But upon returning into Damage Control and that whole story kicking her off, man, she was kind of the weakest part about that story. Her matches have not been that very good, at least in my opinion. Like you said, they've been very weak and very soft in terms of quality. When that was kind of one of her whole things in ring wise in NXT was heavy strikes and really and an amazing elbow drop and stuff like that. And those just have not been looking that good in the past few months. She was a big part about the Damage Control story, but she was the weakest part. And then you cut to like this big story for 9-10 months is going on. She's like you said, like the crux of the story between Asuka and Io. And in terms of match wise and in terms of story wise, she was also the weakest part of that too. She had a whole like sad, scared thing going on where she was getting dragged around by Asuka, and anytime we would see in the ring, it would be really weak, and it was literally just 9 months of the same segment. She would come up sad and nervous to talk to Io. Asuka would yell at her, and she'd fucking squeal and run off, and it just wasn't hitting, man. It just wasn't hitting. And again, part of it is WWE's fault for doing the same story for 9 months at a time, but she really didn't do any favors for that either. And again, it sucks that, she lost her job, man. That really does suck, but I think she was given a fair chance. I think she was, and I just don't think she was up to par in terms of what she used to be upon return, man. So her being the biggest, upset for these fans about this kind of blows my mind, because Aleister Black was right there, a man who was literally a day under a year being back, did nothing with him when he has all the potential in the world. Don't really understand that. Black is my big one where I'm confused why he was a part of it. But it does suck for Kari, but like I'm in the same boat as you. I really don't know why this is the one the fans latched onto as the big sin of these releases, man. I think Black might be the big. I think Black and MCMG are arguably both bigger, whys for releases than Kari Sane.
100%, man. 100%. And I gotta say, for me, the big one out of this, the big one out of this, I would probably say for me as well, is Aleister Black. I want to say the Wyatt Six, but there is a blatant reason as to why that failed. Like, there is a blatant reason as to why. There's an answer as to why, that did not work. And again, you also look at the Motor City Machine Guns as well. That's another huge one where it's like, how did you fuck these guys up? It's like, and again, you talk about not being given a fair chance. You had, I'll never forget it, WrestleMania 41, bro. You had the War Raiders and the New Day out there, and the War Raiders dressed up as Clash of Clans characters. Meanwhile, you snubbed DIY, Motor City, and the Street Profits from their TLC match from the WrestleMania card. They proceeded to have that match, the SmackDown after Mania, absolutely tear the fucking roof off the place. And still, that wasn't enough to convince Triple H, hey, maybe we need to do something with these tag teams. Look at how into this the crowd was. Maybe if I wasn't such a fucking blithering idiot and I put some thought into my tag team division, then maybe we could actually do something with this. They, to me, weren't even given a fair chance. They were given the classic Tony Khan booking. You get signed, you go right to the top, and the only fucking place to go from there is straight down. So, to me, man, yeah, I would probably have to say those two as well. Again, I really want to say the Wyatt Six, but that one, that one to me, yes, it is heartbreaking, and yes, I truly believe for a group with the idea of that, I don't even think they were given a fair chance to really kind of showcase them as people. Now, I don't know whose fault that was. I don't know if Taylor Rotunda, if Bo Dallas did not want to come out of the mask. I don't know, if he was very keen on that. Maybe he felt like that was Wyndham's vision to never take the mask off, the Uncle Howdy mask, or I don't know if that was a WWE thing. That is one thing we're going to have to know in time, and that's one thing I'm very interested to hear, because I'm sure Chris Van Vliet's already got fucking 4 out of 5 of these members on speed dial for an interview. I'm very interested to hear from them and know kind of what went wrong. I'm interested to know if they were pitching ideas. I'm interested to know what happens, because something tells me this group was not as lazy and complacent as they came off on television. Something tells me this group wanted to do a whole lot more and was shot down for whatever reason. But I'm very interested to hear about that. I don't know what, again, I can't say yet what exactly went wrong with the Wyatts. We will have that for you guys. Trust me, we will have that for you guys the moment it comes out. Again, I don't know if it was Bo that did not want to come out of the mask. I don't know if it was WWE that did not want him to come out of the mask. Whatever the case was, we should have known. We should have got to known. We should have got to fall in love with these characters the same way we fell in love with Wyndham as he was portraying the Bray Wyatt character, whatever version of Bray Wyatt, the Bray Wyatt character he was portraying. We should have got to know and fall in love with these characters the exact same way. There's absolutely no shot on planet fucking Earth that a Bray Wyatt tribute group should have went down the way this group went down, bro. We never heard from any of them. All WWE kept them as was a fucking mask, and all they kept them for was money to piggyback off of Bray Wyatt and his legacy, which is so fucked up. And I'm so interested to hear what went wrong with this group, because it is absolutely terrible to me that the Wyatt Six is all gone from WWE, man. They again, they weren't even given a chance to move brands. They weren't even given a chance to get in a feud with somebody other than the MFTs. They weren't. They gave them the tag titles and never put them on television. The same thing they do with all the fucking tag teams. That's why Ciampa left.
That's why Ciampa left. That's why they let go Wyatt Six. That's why they let go MCMG. It makes no sense, man. And with the Wyatts, man, like you said, we'll know with time. Whoever comes out first and mentions it and talks about it. But usually, with the way WWE works, I have my hunch on who was the main purveyor of keeping them behind a mask, and that's it. Because at least for me, anytime we got a hint of them talking as humans, that's when they seem the most interested and just the most energetic to talk about them actually them as people, man. So obviously nothing for sure, but if I have a hunch, I think I could guess my answer to that, man. And it's and even if it's not, even if it is the opposite, it should be WWE's creative job and that Triple H creative team to tell them no if that would be the case and to do this instead, man. A lot of WWE is either completely letting people ruin themselves or ruining people for them. And the whole point of WWE creative, at least it used to be, especially when AEW wasn't doing too good, the whole point people would say is no matter whatever they say, go. So if you don't, if you, no matter if you don't like something, you got to do it because that's what they told you to do. I feel like that has been completely lost within the past 2, 3 years with this company, and I think that example, if that is the case.
I completely agree. I completely agree. Again, this was a major talking point with AEW when people would say, well, if they go to WWE, you don't got no choice. You got to be a big boy. You got to do what they say. So, no, I completely agree with that, man, for sure. I feel like that sentiment has been completely lost. And again, it just whether it's these own people booking themselves into oblivion or WWE booking themselves into oblivion, it doesn't make any sense to me, man. And again, man, to think that you've shown yourself flashes of greatness when you put these guys on TV as themselves, and it was the most interesting the group had ever looked, to not want to revisit that is absolutely ridiculous to me. It's so ridiculous to me how 2 or 3 weeks before these guys all get released, you put out a video and it's all of them as human beings talking about what getting the lantern back from the MFTs meant to them, and that was the most interesting the group has ever fucking looked outside of those therapy segments from early on in the group's run. That was the best the
Dude,
group has ever looked. How you don't see the answers on the answer sheet, assess it, and say, okay, the group doesn't, there's a disconnect, okay? When they're all out there wearing their masks, mostly Bo. When he's out there wearing his mask, there's a disconnect from the other members. There's also a disconnect from the other members because the other members are mute. We never let any of them on the mic. We never let any of them cut them Wyatt style promos. You know, they can stand out there and speak in riddles and be cool and do their whole Wyatt lore thing. You know, that's cool. That's, people like that, right? You didn't look at that. You did not assess that. You did not go back, watch the play, watch film, look at what you did wrong and how you could do it right next time. That honestly tells me you're fucking creatively disabled. You're creatively
yeah.
inept. If an NFL coach, if an NFL coach watched film and he watched his fucking quarterback getting blitzed, right? And he says, okay, well, the next time we blitz, let's just run the same play. He would get fired. He would fucking get fired because his quarterback would be getting sacked all game. If he said, okay, we ran a play action and our quarterback gets blitzed. All right, well, if you look at the defensive formation, if you see that they're gonna blitz, run play action again. Guess what's gonna happen? You're going to get blitzed and you're going to get sacked again. Okay?
And
No, that's not what you fucking do. If you assess the play and you say it looks like they're blitzing, call an audible. Do something else. You get fired. You fucking get fired. Triple H is running the same play and he's allowed to keep his job.
dude, and that's why, yeah, obviously, like we said, we'll know when it comes out and someone sets a man, but that's why I have the instant feeling that it was more Triple H and WWE, because Triple H is he is a repetitive booker, man. If one entity, if one character, if whatever gets in a groove, that is all they will be under Triple H, man,
Yes.
to a team. I mean, look at Raw, and as much as I love, even the stuff they're doing on Raw now with Roman, Usos, and Fatu. At the end of the day, it's still the same bloodline groove, and I like it, and I really do. But it's still the same groove. Look at all over the rest of the show, dude. And I can't wait to talk about it. They got one of their most promising up and coming guys doing an open challenge. I love Becky, but she's doing the same thing out there every week. And I like the promo tonight, but like you look up and down the show, every character, every person, every feud is almost the exact same thing for the exact same people every time. And it's just a pattern with Triple H, man.
That is absolutely fucking ridiculous to me. That is absolutely ridiculous to me. Again, bro, um, if you continuously run the same play of failure, if you continue to go multiple seasons where your fucking team has a losing season, you get fired. This guy is allowed to keep running the same play and run multiple losing seasons, and he's just trotting around.
He just signed, and we'll get to it on Friday, but he just re-signed.
Yes.
Bro just re-signed,
Yes.
running the same play, making his team lose out on the fucking game, on the game of the year every year, bro. And he's still keeping his job, man. I think, we'll get to it. I think it's a good thing, but, like, I think it's also over time going to be a very bad thing, because I can't wait to get to it on Friday, man. Real side note, though, bro.
Yeah.
You mentioned those original Wyatt Therapy promos, dude. Did you see Rowan posted the full 3+ minute uncut version of his?
No, I didn't.
Dude, he
Oh,
posted the full uncut down version of his, dude. I was in tears, bro. I was in tears, man. That shit will get me every time.
I already know what type of timing Rowan's on, bro. He's coming for all our heartstrings, dude. Every fucking time that guy speaks, I'm like, oh god, don't do this to me, bro.
I saw he posted a video of it, and I saw the time. I was like, "Damn, 3 minutes!" I don't remember the segment of just his part being that long, but it's like the full uncut version of it, and of just his. And I was like, "Man, that shit got me, bro. That shit got me. You got it. When we're done here, you got to go listen to that, because that was amazing."
Will. Triple H, my basketball people will get this, bro. Triple H is Billy Donovan, okay? Chicago Bulls head coach Billy Donovan. This motherfucker did nothing but have losing seasons in Chicago, but they kept him around because he was the foundation of what is now the Oklahoma City Thunder and the fucking juggernaut that the Thunder is. But the Bulls organization kept him around simply because of that. Meanwhile, his work in Chicago, he maybe had a little stint. I think it was 2021 when Lonzo was starting and they had Alex Caruso and DeMar DeRozan and fucking Zach LaVine and that whole crew. But then the minute Lonzo went down and the season ended, he ain't had a fucking good season for the Bulls since. Meanwhile, all you hear is, oh, they love Billy Donovan. They think he's the fucking coach of the future or whatever. I don't want to say Triple H is Doc Rivers just yet, but he's certainly fucking getting there. He's a coach that is just complete fucking trash, but they try to hype him up like he's some god in the league. Bro won a title in 2008 and fucking still doesn't shut up about it. But anyways, Triple H at this point is fucking Billy Donovan to me, bro. He had a little good stint in 2024, and it's from 2022 to 2024, which was longer than Billy Donovan's, but ever since then, it's been shit, and he gets fucking re-signed, and all he does is fail everybody.
Like Triple H, bro, he had a good college career coach route. If you look at NXT as college, man, great cut, man. He ran that college team. You know, they were better than any fucking pro team at that time, bro. He gets signed to be a coach for the pro teams. Like, he has 2 years of getting some wins, man. And then he just duds out and hasn't won a fucking game since, bro. He's not the Sox so far, bro, but he's definitely a Chicago team, bro, because he ain't winning nothing, bro. He ain't winning shit.
No,
he's not Sox.
Look,
he's not the Sox yet.
and that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about with Billy Donovan. They kept him around because they look at what he did in the foundation, where he built the foundation of the Oklahoma City Thunder. He built that foundation in NXT. He came over to the Bulls, had that one good season. He had that one good season, which for Paul was fucking 22 to 24, and ever since then, it's fucking sucked. Similar to Donovan, he built that early foundation of the Thunder, came over to the fucking Bulls, had that one good season, half a season really, and ever since then he fucking sucked. And yet they think he's the man. What are we doing?
I think he's the man. They think this bald Nazi is the man, and he's done out, man. He's done out, man. Those releases were bad. Of course, they do it during Raw, like when we went off air, is like we mentioned earlier, when the big ones truly hit. You know, Wyatt 6 was a big one, but that's when the other big ones truly hit. And they were on during SmackDown again, because why instead of putting on a bomb ass SmackDown after Mania, let's forever taint our SmackDowns after Mania
Yep.
by doing releases on them every year and completely making that episode a dreadful episode every year. Way to kill SmackDown after Mania, dude.
And then the show ended up sucking ass anyway. Like, dude,
Dude,
you
it was
couldn't have, you couldn't have put that bullshit on and then release people the next day. I mean, you had to do it before and then put that on. Come on, bro.
SmackDown. The SmackDown after Mania and with start and end with Raw Bloodline storyline. What is going on, bro? What is going, dude? Oh man, it's gotten so bad. I can't wait till Friday, bro. I cannot wait till Friday. Because it's going to be another Triple H in that picture looking stupid Friday episode of the news, man. And you
Yeah.
already know.
Oh God, he's re-signed, bro. Yeah, that's the way it's looking, bro.
Re-signed.
Hey,
And
those are the those are, go ahead.
Oh, and not only did he resign, he signed off on every one of those names we just listed off,
Yes, he
man.
did.
Ooh, I can't wait to
Yes,
get
he
to that.
did. Yes, he did. Bro, those are the releases. Again, not happy at all about the Wyatt Six. To me, again, and everybody likes to, make fun of the audience when, they like to say, oh, the audience, they think they think they're better bookers. I can confidently say, and I genuinely mean this, dude. I can confidently say, I genuinely feel I am a creatively sound person enough. I could have sat down in a fucking chair and booked that group better than Triple H have. I can confidently say that. I genuinely can. And again, I'm not trying to be that fucking guy again that thinks he can run the whole show, but especially with the Wyatt Six, I could genuinely say I can sit down and book that group better than he could have.
And I say that about us all the time, and I think that's very true for us. And we don't say it because we think we're some all perfect know-it-alls, man. I mean, there's situations where I'm looking at whoever's booking the show. I'm like, this is stupid. Why are you doing this? And it works out. You look at Kyle Fletcher. That's one of my main examples of I would have thought that was stupid. I didn't think that was going to work out. He's one of their biggest, best up and people. I was wrong, but man, you look at the context of the White Six, bro. We could have sat in one of them chairs where most of those duds just nod their heads and agree, and we could have booked that fucking group better than this, bro. 100%.
Yes. I don't know if Triple H has lost the ideology we used to hear about it in NXT, where Triple H would sit down with his creative team. They would talk about these characters. Triple H would spend time with these talent and help them figure out their characters, really understand their characters. He would give them a lot of input because he knows these people understood their characters. He would give them a lot of free reign. I don't know, but with still, being the booker and having final say. He was taking a lot of inspiration from these people because Triple H used to always say it himself. Nobody knows these characters better than the people that are playing them, right? He used to live by that saying when he was in NXT. I would have sat down with that fucking group and we would have really fucking figured out who the hell they were as a group and figured it out and went from there. He lost that. He completely lost that, and he
Lost it.
and I don't know where that went, but it certainly wasn't in that creative room because that was a terrible display on a Wyatt tribute group. When we said it from the very beginning, we knew where this group was headed. We fucking knew where this group was headed, man. Everybody, I wish I could go back and pull up old comments on how we didn't know what we were talking about, and he's going to be fine under the mask. He's going to be a future world champion. We don't know what the fuck we're talking about. We're just marks. You guys think you know everything. You guys think you're better than the booker. All this shit, and in the fucking end, we were right. So
You're fucking right. What do we tell you? We predicted it because it was very obvious, and history repeated itself. And we said it because that same thing that just happened already happened 2 times over, and it happened again. Number 3, number fucking 5, damn near, it happened again.
Absolutely ridiculous, man. So when you want to fucking when you want to question the young veterans, I really hope next time you guys think twice. So,
Please think twice, please.
all right, man. Sometimes I wish I thought twice about watching this show, but AEW Dynamite,
What? I don't have to think twice, man,
really?
because I love Dynamite.
Wow,
I love Dynamite,
he
man.
loves it.
Don't you?
Yeah.
Exactly. What's there
Dynamite.
not to love?
Yeah, nothing at all. Everything's to love on this show. Dynamite. This was your April 22nd edition of Dynamite from Rip City.
It's Rip City.
Yep, took place from Rip City, man. Portland, Oregon.
Oh, okay.
Oh, did you know? What? Oh, did you say where's
not-
Rip City?
I did not know where Rip City was, man.
Oh.
I did not actually. It's Portland, so it's a real city. It's a real city.
It
It's good
is.
to know.
It is. I thought you said it's Rip City. My bad. Yes, Rip City is a real place. It's a real place on Earth. They're not in Fishers, Indiana this week.
That's good. That's good to know, man. That's good to know.
The show opened up with a MJF heated promo. He's looking for a rematch for the AEW World Championship, and Kevin Knight comes out. TNT champion Kevin Knight comes out. He had a promo with MJF. I'm not even going to tell you guys what the promo was about because that's not important here. What we need to talk about is Kevin Knight's promo ability. Because this almost turned into a TNT championship match, but then MJF rolled out of the ring. He got the match made for next week instead. But dog, we got to have a conversation because my guy, Kevin Knight, the Jet. I really like Kevin Knight, man. I really do. I think he is truly a future piece to what AEW's got going on. This promo was, I can't even say littered is the right word. This promo was absolutely obliterated. Obliterated with the Jet. And what I mean by that, when I tell you my guy Kevin Knight said the Jet 2 times in every sentence, I'm not kidding you. The Jet's so fly. Nobody's flyer than the Jet. The Jet just landed. The Jet's so smooth. The Jet's so handsome. The Jet's so this. The Jet's so that. The Jet, the Jet's the fucking TNT champion. The Jet only knows how to say the Jet. The Jet can't cut a promo yet. The Jet's got all the promise in the world, but he's got to learn to stop saying the Jet every 2 fucking words. Bro, I get. And I like the nickname the Jet. I like Jet as a nickname for Kevin Knight. I do. But homeboy, you gotta scale it back big time. This was one of my big problems with my guy Switchblade Jay White. I love Switch. I do. But every time Jay White used to have the problem, and maybe he still does have the problem. I'll have to see when he comes back. Jay White had the biggest problem on earth. Every single promo of his, I'm King Switch. I'm the Switchblade. I'm the catalyst of pro wrestling. I'm the fucking top gun, the last top gunslinger, the real last rock and roller. King Switch this, Switch that, Blade this, run that. Bro, dude, calm the fuck down with the nicknames, okay? Roman Reigns isn't out there every week saying, I'm the tribal chief, the head of the table, I'm in God mode, I'm the fucking big dog, I'm the OTC, I'm the original tribal chief, I'm the only tribal chief, I'm the tribal chief, I'm the leader of the blood. No. It's not necessary. It's just not. Again, I love Kevin Knight. I think he's great, but holy moly, he's got to work on that, bro, because that was very hard to listen to, especially coming from a guy that, again, does represent the future of AEW and is a future guy to this company. Gotta work on that big time, and I really hope he does, because MJF even kind of called him out on that in MJF's promo. After that, he in turn kept, saying jet, jet this, jet that. He kept saying jet to Kevin Knight, because and I really hope when they got to the back, MJF could kind of chat him up on a couple things, because my God, that was that was not good, and that was very hard to hear coming from a guy that I actually really fuck with in AEW. So he's really got to work on that, because that was, oh my God, that was bad.
No, that was that was bad, man. That was bad. And he has one of the most easy fixable problems with this promo, man,
Mm-hmm.
because like again, it wasn't his tone. He didn't talk like a goober. He doesn't have a weird voice. He talks good. His flow is good. All that is good. Like you said, dude, like everyone's saying, Logan mentions it. It's just the overuse of the phrase the jet and a nickname and catchphrases like that. That's one of my biggest pet peeves with promos, dude, is catchphrases, and when someone just fucking relies on their catchphrase every single week, CM Punk, and it just pisses me off, man. And that is like the epitome of it. Him, like you mentioned, Switchblade was a demon with that shit, dude. And you don't need to do your nickname that much. It's on your T-shirt. It's in your fucking Tron. That's what you need. Occasionally, you'll introduce yourself as that. You'll end a promo as that. Whatever you need. But dude, don't need to say I'm the jet this, I'm the jet that, I'm a jet this. At that point, I'm gonna want you to jet out and leave at that point, because you're just saying it too much. You gotta simplify. You gotta talk in your promos. There's gotta be a point, a plot to your promos, man. There's nothing I hate more than promos that are just yapping garbage. Why do you think I haven't liked Paul Heyman in the last year? Because it's just every time Paul Heyman gets on the mic, he just yaps about nothing, and he talks in a circle. And just saying a nickname like that, the Jet, is just talking in a circle, and it makes your promo just meaningless, and that there's no point to it. And you gotta have a point to the promo. That's what makes promos, man. So that, like you said, that's the big killer there, man. It was a bad promo, but because he just relied on a nickname and just oversaid it constantly, man. And that's probably the best, bad promo you could have, if that makes sense. Like I said, it's not his tone. He doesn't have a weird voice. It's not none of that. It's simply he's got to cut out relying on the nicknames and overdoing that. And I don't think he'll be good, man. Either way, that was a bad promo, and I hope he gets brushed up over time and just after that. So, I would say give him more mic time and let him learn how to, get better on the mic over time. Because if you just cut him off the mic and never give him a mic again, he's never going to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So just tell him what's up, tell him what's wrong with the promo, and keep giving him promo time. And obviously, over time, if he doesn't improve, then that's a problem. But I feel like he will if you just tell him, you got to cut that, you got to change that, and keep giving him mic time. So almost sucked, and it could easily get better over time, man. You just got to cut that nickname shit.
Yes, and working with somebody like MJF is very simple, because MJF has one of the smoothest, seamless catchphrases, and he doesn't do it in the beginning of his promos. He actually does it at the end, and sometimes he doesn't do it when it doesn't call for it. But most of the time, he hits the and you know why? It's because I'm Maxwell Jacob Friedman. I'm better than you, and you know it. Sometimes he does it when it makes sense. Sometimes he doesn't. There's nothing more I hate than, again, when you're forcing, the jet this, the jet that, or you look at, like, again, uh like if you look the past couple weeks at like a CM Punk, he will dead ass be mid promo and then be like, "Oh, by the way, excuse me, isn't it fucking great to be alive in Fishers, Indiana on a Monday night?" Like just completely interrupt himself in his own promo. Or if you guys remember, when Jey Uso was World Heavyweight Champion, do you remember when he would forget his lines and then just say, um, 4 letters, one fucking word, yeet, and then just start
So
yeeting?
horrible.
And like he did it all the time, where he would just again, he would just be mid promo, forget what the fuck he was talking about, and then completely move on to the catchphrase, end the promo, and start yeeting. And then he got upset that everybody started making fun of him.
Exactly. He would get on his Instagram stories and post his little stories, man, because he just relied on that catchphrase. And you don't want to rely on that shit, especially you don't want it to halt your promos and pause your promos, essentially. Like Punk would let it, like Jay would let it, like Heyman's, most of his promos nowadays, you don't want to do that type of shit. You really don't.
Yes. So, yeah, that was that. The next match, we have Lio Rush, Blackheart Lio Rush versus the one and only, the Buddy King.
Buddy King, dude. Speaking of Buddy King, man, dude, I was on AEW shop, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know they sell his fucking his balaclava mask on AEW shop?
Really?
Not only that, they sell a Bandito mask and they sell like two other people's mask on their show, bro. I didn't not that I'm even gonna buy any things. Why do these fans not know about it? Why do you not promote this shit when these people come out? You got Buddy King out there, promote his fucking mask. Like dog,
Oh yeah,
especially for a
$40.
Bandito, man. Like dog, I did not know that. I was looking at their website. I saw that shit. I was appalled. I was like, oh my god,
Wow.
they actually sell this shit. We just have no clue because they don't advertise. Um, so that's a whole side thing. But Buddy King, gotta love it, man. I love Buddy King.
Buddy King.
Buddy King, goated. No, but no
Buddy
one's better
King.
on commentary, man.
And
I
that
love Buddy
was
King.
from the one and only Excalibur.
Of course, there
They were
was,
doing
dude.
something mid match, and I think he was walking around the ring, and he's like, I'm Blackheart Lio Rush. He's getting it taken to him by Buddy King. Who the Buddy King?
Who the hell
Buddy
is
King.
that? Is that the tag name of Buddy Matthews and Brody King that
It's
you
gotta
haven't
be
seen fucking the one of them in fucking what, a year now?
over
How
a
long
year.
has it been? Over a year. Fucking hell.
Mm-hmm.
Like dog. What the hell? Speaking of them though, man. What's your opinion on the Blackheart Lio Rush, dude? I know you love him, so let's hear it.
Dude, I love me some Blackheart Lio Rush, man. This, they're saying, I've heard people say, the last time AEW did a wacky gimmick like this, it ended up getting over. It was Timeless Tony Storm. I can't remember the last time Timeless Tony Storm was running around saying, shake my hand, shake my hand. This fucking gimmick is so fucking weird. It is hilarious, but it is so fucking weird and stupid. This is like AEW's version of Danhausen.
It really is. It really is their version of Danhausen, bro. Don't tell me that's a real tweet of somebody comparing
Oh
Lio
fuck yeah.
Rush to
Yes.
Tony Storm. Oh,
Yes.
that's
Somebody
so sad, bro.
I seen
Tony
it was
Storm.
it was a video. It was a video, bro. They
Yeah.
said, yes, it was a video. They said the last time something this wacky came to AEW, it was Timeless Tony Storm. Timeless Tony Storm was fucking cool. Okay? This is not cool. This is weird.
What she did was creative. He was an old timey movie star, Marilyn Monroe, very cool. This is just Lio Rush wearing contacts and walking around like a dog. Like, dude, like, this is horrible. Like you said, it's like the Danhausen of AEW. It's so ass. It's kind of funny, but not funny enough to actually be worth a damn on the show. And the fact that like he's not stuck on ROH or Collision is a crime on Dynamite, because there's much people that are on ROH and or Collision I would rather see than the Blackheart Lio Rush, man.
Yes. 100%. After this,
That's hilarious.
Brody King says he is after this
But
Buddy King says that he is going for the AEW World Championship. So this wasn't the last of him. We will see in the night. After this, Edge challenges FTR to a New York street fight at Double or Nothing, and if they lose, they will retire as a tag team. So I guess we know where they're winning the tag titles.
In New York, most definitely.
Yes.
Oh man.
What else? Huh?
Which I am excited for. I'm excited for him to get off FTR, and I like Cajun Cope, and I can't wait to see what they could do as champions.
100%. Very excited to see. And then at Double or, or at All In, we should be getting our TLC match. We should be getting our TLC match, man. We should be getting Edge and Christian versus FTR versus the Young Bucks.
Actually, depending on how time might go, I might save that match to make it a 4-way with another team.
Another team? Am I missing somebody?
Well, there's probably going to be a new team in AEW in about 3 months.
I'm picking up what you're putting
gone.
down. I thought you were. I thought you were thinking they were going to save it because Nick Jackson will be in the world championship match at All In.
Oh, my bad, dude. He did. Dude, did you see on
This
BT?
is the greatest thing ever, bro.
They acknowledged it.
Yeah.
What he said the line, bro.
He said it. He adopted the phrase, bro. Nick Jackson adopted the phrase, "What the dog doing?"
Good, bro. World title immediately, man. Give it to me.
Yes.
That shit's hilarious. I miss that vibe of BT so much. I'm glad they kind of get it back sometimes. I'll see, they do fun shit like that, so that's very good to see, man. But and we'll talk about it on Friday. There's only a few names that AEW seems to be interested in this set of releases, and a certain tag team seems to be one of those names. So they might even save that TLC match, and that would be cool.
Hey, you do a 4-way with Motor City, what the Bucks doing, FTR and Edge and Christian.
Gotta put that on a shirt, dude. They gotta put what the Bucks doing on a shirt.
Yes, that would be fire, bro. But that 4-way would be tough, especially because Motor City had themselves a pretty classic TLC match in WWE, so that would be very cool for them, man. That would be very cool. So hey, yeah, like you said, there's not a lot of teams there's not a lot of people in general. Did you see one of the names that they're interested is not well, I don't know if it's AEW. I don't know if I've seen AEW was interested in it, but I know a lot of talent is interested in one member of the Wyatt Six, but I feel like that could snowball into a couple of them.
Is it the one that they want in the Death Riders if we saw the same tweet?
I did, maybe. I just seen they wanted Joe Gacy.
It's Joe Gacy. A lot of fans want him in the Death Riders because he was like one of those death match guys on the indies. But I could see a lot of them fitting it. I could also see if only like 2 of them make it over there and end up going over there. I think the 2 would be Joe and Rowan. I could definitely see Rowan going over there.
I could see Joe and Dexter.
I could see Rowan. Dexter too.
I could see Rowan.
I could see Dexter. I could see all. I could see in different capacities. I could see a lot of those guys going out there. Actually, funny enough.
I don't know. What do you think Bo does? Think he just stays?
No, man.
Stays to himself again.
I could see it. I'm sure I think he has a whole like cooking YouTube channel that he might end up doing more after this or something. Whatever he does, man, I just hope he could be happy, man, because that just sucks, man. I hope he could go and just do what he's able to want to do, man. I really hope so. Because I would love for to see Bo Dallas or Taylor Rotunda as a version we wish we could have got.
I wish.
In AEW. I think that could work out, man. I really think it could.
Yeah, I hope so. But I for sure think Joe Gacy is going AEW.
I think Joe Gacy's definitely going to be over there. And I've seen also interest in Corey. Obviously, they're going to want to eat fucking. It. Yeah, I also seen a lot of hair. Oh God, Corey Zane Elbow,
the Pirate Prince. I mean, sorry. I mean, sorry. I mean, oh fuck, sorry. The Pirate Princess.
The Pirate Queen. I mean, Princess. I mean, Princess.
Oh my
Um,
God! Can you believe it, Tony? It's John Gacy. I mean, oh fuck, sorry, it's Joe Gacy.
John Gacy. He would say John Gacy.
Oh
Oh
man.
my God, it's Samuel Saw.
Samuel Saw.
I also seen a lot of fans do want Kaylee Ray over there, and I think she would also fit in that women's division. I
Yeah,
like Kaylee Ray.
I think I could see that for sure. I could for sure see Kaylee Ray over there.
I can see that,
What
but
about
that's all. You know,
Malachi back?
well, that's a whole thing on Friday, man.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's not just the fans either, from what I'm seeing, which is
Oh,
crazy.
the talent. Yeah, I've heard the
I
same
saw
stuff.
that, I was like, ooh,
Malachi is not
fuck.
back.
Malachi will not be allowed back.
Malachi won't be back. Oh,
He will not be back.
damn it, bro. We were so close to Malachi back.
Dude, I was so close to Malachi back is
dude.
back. I needed it.
Malachi back is back. Malachi back.
I would just hug him if I ever met him in real life at that point, because he just makes my every Wednesday and occasional Sunday.
He's just the man, bro. He's just
He
the man.
really is.
So hey, I'm excited because we could be in line for a lot of actually seen the Motor City their 90 days is up July 23rd, and on July 29th Dynamite takes place from Motor City.
True.
So so I'm very excited to kind of see that. And then two, that's kind of right in time for All In. So I would love to get to see the Motors, because remember they were originally supposed to go there and they didn't.
Go.
They went to WWE. Yep. I'm overall glad they went to WWE. They got that under their belt, and I think nowadays the tag team division is better off in AEW, because at the time they were supposed to go, that was not the place to be. And AEW, their tag division isn't sunshine and rainbows now, but it's a lot better than it was then.
The way it could help them over there, the post bad booking,
yes,
unjust released WWE into AEW momentum, I think would help them overall than just if they would have went straight to AEW. I think people don't realize how much bad booking can benefit you with momentum.
Yeah, and Tony honestly does do a decent job with like ex-WWE people. He really does.
He does. He really does. And I don't think they would have the ex-WWE like stint that, or like, you know, just thing to their name that some people would have. I'd see a lot of that roster really liking them.
Yeah. And they don't give me the vibe that we hear a lot from, you know, a lot of these guys.
Be like Chad.
Yeah. They think they're better than everybody and that whole thing.
Yeah.
So, Hikaru Shida defeated Mina Shirakawa. I have no thoughts on this. I have nothing.
But you don't have no thoughts on the background to this match, man? You know, how it was made and you know what is going to happen with these characters afterwards? Because I don't think Tony Khan does either.
What did Tony doing, bro? What is he doing? What did Khan doing,
bro? What did Khan doing? I fuck with that. I like that a lot, man.
Yeah. Mark Davis and Will Ospreay.
Where's Mark Briscoe? Or where's Mike Briscoe when you need him?
Mike Briscoe is wild. Davis versus Ospreay.
What nickname did they give us again? Didn't they give him a fucking funny ass nickname last week?
Dangerous? Was it Dangerous Mark Davis?
I think it was something like Dangerous. It might have just been Dangerous. It was fun.
Remember all those years ago, Don Callis christened Mark Davis the Will Ospreay Killer. Turns out he's right.
You mean you're not wrong, man. He kind of took it too literally, man. But
Don Callis says he's the Will Ospreay Killer.
The Will Ospreay Killer, man. It's Davis for you, man.
This
Doyle,
dude. No, for real. This match, it should be coming back in a couple months. This match, we get Davis and Doyle back. This dude, oh my goodness sake! This match ended by a referee stoppage because Mark Davis gave Will Ospreay not just any pile driver. He gave Will Ospreay a apron pile driver.
Dude, every week we get on here, and when this logo fades in, one of the talking points is that every week, every pay-per-view, they just do the same thing with Will Ospreay and attack his neck with a pile driver, and he's just going to be here the next week. And they did the absolute most extreme version of that. They did an apron pile driver, dude. Just stop. Just stop. Please, can you just stop with the whole? I would much rather Will Ospreay have come back and not made his neck injury into his character and never have to deal with this shit ever. Because my God, what is the uncreativeness of this?
Homie, please stop. Please. I'm so tired of Will Ospreay doing these death-defying stunts every week to a talent like Mark Davis. Now,
Mark Davis.
We did get sad Excalibur for this. I can't believe what he dropped him on his head. He gave him
I fucking love sad commentary, dude. Because no one ever does sad commentary right, dude. It's almost always the most over dramatic, just sadness. About just man. Will Ospreay, how could you do that to him, man? Just man, it sucks every time.
He dumped his head on the apron.
At least nowadays, Michael Cole knows to get fake mad in there instead of just generically sad.
Yeah.
But man, sad commentary is the funniest thing ever every time, dude.
The best. Hey, Dunkzilla Mark Davis. He dumped Ospreay on his head.
Dunkzilla, he's not in the NBA. Oh, because he dunks him with the pile. That is horrible. I just got it. Oh, that's horrible. My God, Dunkzilla, brother.
The worst part, Sir K, is that's not the reason they call him Dunkzilla.
Reason they call him Dunkzilla? At least that's semi-creative. But oh no, why do they call him Dunkzilla? I'm so scared now.
I'm gonna try to figure out how to say this without sounding sus.
Is he tagging people?
No. I guess what would be slang for somebody having a dunk or a dump, a dumpy.
Well, that's why they call him that.
Yes.
It
was he adopted the name a long time ago because somebody said something about his dunk, I guess, on Twitter, and somebody said he had a Dunkzilla on Twitter and he adopted it and became Dunkzilla Mark Davis.
I love Mark Davis. Yes. Oh brother, man. What? Yeah. Oh man, that's bad. Yeah. That's really bad.
I don't have I
didn't know he was fucking Saucy Santana, man. I did not know that.
Dunkzilla. Yes. Terrible.
Oh man. I should have not been that at this point. I would have liked to live in blissful ignorance about my reasoning.
Anyways, please stop dumping Will Ospreay on his fucking head. Can we please? I mean, on it. Can we save it for the John Moxleys of the world and not the fucking Dunkzillas of the world? Please. Please.
They're just gonna keep doing it, bro. They're gonna keep doing it every week, and Will Ospreay's just gonna be on television the week after, every week, and it's just gonna be a vicious cycle, man. I can't wait for them to finally for it to get old, which it already is, but in terms of for Tony Khan, for it to get hold of dumping it on his head.
Terrible. Samoa Joe returned. He returned and defeated a jobber back from concussion. Well, happy to see Joe back. Don't know why you couldn't just have him go out there and cut a little I'm back promo instead of having him in a squash match. But nonetheless, happy to see Joe back. Glad he got over the concussion. It was a bit of a long concussion, but he is back, and I'm happy that he is back. And they have a new member to the Ops. It is confirmed.
They do have a new member to the Ops, man. They did add Anthony Bowen, sorry, Anthony Bowens to the Ops, man. Which, like you said, why do this little squash match if you were gonna have that, a whole little thing about adding Bowens to the group? Why don't you just do that for a segment in the ring, and then Joe interrupts, right before Hook can accept him in, and then Joe just accepts him into, and that's the whole segment. They could easily done something like that, but all right. But they have a new member to the Ops, man.
Hey,
Anthony Bowens.
there you go. Anthony Bowens, he's with the team now.
He proved.
I did forget to mention, after referee stoppage, the Death Riders came out and kidnapped Will Ospreay. There was a little segment on Collision. It was actually really cool with Moxley and Will. They brought him to like the fucking basement of the arena, and John Moxley and him they cut a pretty cool promo on each other, man. Marina Shafir cracked his neck with a towel. She's so badass, dude. She is a fucking badass manager, bro. She really is. No, but it was good stuff. Again, just don't understand why the pile drivers, bro. It is a bit ridiculous and a bit irresponsible. I mean, the dude is literally coming off of neck surgery, man. Come on.
Oh, it's very irresponsible. It's very illogical to do it, especially like you think storyline wise. He got dumped on his head. Death Riders kidnapped him to take him to the bowels of the arena to have like that whole cool therapy segment, and he's just sitting there just holding his neck like as if he didn't just get dumped on basically straight wood on his injured neck. You know what I mean? Like, even like storyline wise, it doesn't even make sense for him to have that therapy session with them. But it was a cool segment, very cool. Marina's dope, Mox is dope, and I like what they're doing. And it's just the whole neck stuff just gets frustrating with the way they do it.
100%. 100%. Chris Jericho, he did the thing. He had the t-shirt.
Yeah, the t-shirt.
He had the t-shirt. It says, Jericho, the guy who gets his ass beat by the Demand every week he shows up.
Well, now he's going to counter that, man.
Well, there was a segment later in the night, Sir K, where Chris Jericho gained some pretty significant reinforcements in the Hurt Syndicate.
Some significant reinforcement, man. I didn't know he called fucking Delta Squad from fucking.
He called the Navy. Yeah, he called Power Rangers SPD, bro. He has some pretty significant reinforcements, according to Excalibur.
He's got the fucking, he's got some troopers on his back, man. And, I love seeing the Hurt Syndicate back on television. But, dude, you stuck these demons with Chris Jericho.
Ugh.
Oh, man, that's gonna be their AEW story, man. They pissed off Tony Khan once, and they're just gonna be a bottom part of the show for no reason. That's gonna piss me off in the long run. I love Bobby. I love Shelton Benjamin, MVP. I love that group, and it sucks. This is probably gonna be their on and off for the rest of their contract.
I could see it. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Pretty ridiculous. Pretty ridiculous, especially with these guys being one of the most over acts that they have. The main event was Darby Allin versus Tommaso Ciampa. Amazing match. Absolutely amazing match, bro. Tommaso Ciampa gave his little white noise. They call it the Psycho Driller.
That's cool. I like that one.
Very, very cool. They call it the Psycho Driller now, bro. He gave that shit to Darby off of the second rope onto the floor. Ciampa was bloodied, so bloodied. And I'm watching this dude go to work, like, put on a Tommaso Ciampa match as only Tommaso Ciampa could do. And I'm literally thinking to myself the whole time, my God, this is all he wanted to do in WWE. And I don't mean like, sit there and get, ridiculously bloodied. But just go out there and fucking wrestle. He wanted to go out there and wrestle and work and cut his cool little aura-filled promos that again, only he can do, and do his thing. Do his thing. That's all he wanted to do. And instead, you had him running around with a shirt that says, "Don't call me a jackass."
And the rest of the group that said, "Don't call my best friend a jackass," and then "Don't call my husband's best friend a jackass," and just a
Oh
bunch of
my
lame,
god.
generic WWE shit with him, man. And like you said, this is all he wanted to do, man. He wanted to go out there, work his ass off, be a demon in the ring, and cut his Tommaso Ciampa great style promos, man. That's all he wanted to do. Fucking Triple H is too fucking stupid. I don't know if he I don't know
Idiot.
what, man. I don't know if he's jealous of his beard. I don't know what's going on with him, but he underbooked Ciampa. He underbooked DIY. He's still underbooking Gargano, and that's all Ciampa wanted to do is work his ass off, and he goes to AEW, and he proves all he wants to do is work. He wants to wrestle his ass off, and he just wants to be a beast, man. And I'm actually very glad and very shocked that like Ciampa is now like beloved by the AEW audience. That's very nice to see. That's very awesome to see. And I hope it continues, man. I hope he continues getting the momentum, and maybe he could go and feud with Kevin Knight or something. You could do a lot of cool things. I mean, that's going for the TNT title again, so maybe you have two other fucking mid card titles he could go for. Jack Perry, he could face Jack Perry. I think he's the whatever title it is champion. He go do that, man, and you could just do a lot of cool stuff. And I'm very glad we get to see this Champa yet again, man. I'm very glad to see that, man. So very good match from those two guys. I think that's what we're also going to see a lot from Darby with this title reign and shit like that, no matter how short it may be, whether it's up till Double or Nothing or not. I think we're about to get a bunch of bangers with Darby too, and I just love Ciampa being able to go to work and fucking beat Ciampa, and it's truly great.
It is, man. It is, and I love seeing it as well. I love seeing it as well, man. And that was literally all I could think the whole time I'm watching this. I'm like, geez, was it so hard? Was this so hard to put him
Or
and Gargano out there and just have these guys wrestle? I mean, you got 3 hours on a fucking SmackDown show that you do nothing with anyway. So I don't get
literally,
it. I forgot to mention before the match, MJF and Ciampa had a little stare down because MJF was trying to get his title shot, and then afterwards, Brody King came out and they confirmed the match for next week. As it seems like building up to Double or Nothing, it will be Darby Allin facing people every week. So this dude's gonna probably go on a run, trying to kill himself, and um, he could be doing that because this title reign may be a little short.
I think that is it too. I think he were gonna get the big title match every Dynamite up until Double or Nothing, where he's gonna lose to MJF winning it back, and I could see like the storyline, reason of Darby exhausting himself too fast as champion, and like
Yeah,
that's his first lesson as his first time championship reign is he exhausted himself too fast, and that's how MJF won it back. I could see that totally being what happens and the story they tell, which I mean is good. I just wish, like we all did, that they, maybe built it up for him to win at Double or Nothing. You could do that after Double or Nothing to Redemption. Maybe, where, MJF redeems himself and wins the title back, but that's just me.
yeah. Hopefully, man. Hopefully, bro. But yeah. Uh yeah, I actually would really I would really I would really like that. Again, it gives Darby a reason to, like you said, exhaust himself, or to kind of put all his eggs in one basket, or they could really play up to his inexperience, and you can have that play to MJF's claim of Darby Allin not being ready to be world champion. You can play to all of that stuff. And I think that could be a very good way to go with the reasoning for taking Darby Allin off of, or taking the title off of Darby Allin, and kind of playing to things that MJF was telling him. But yeah, I think that would be a good route. Although I would also not be opposed to Darby Allin holding on to the World Championship and us getting Darby Osprey at All In. But I will also be fine with MJF and Osprey as well. I really don't think there's really a bad option. You can go there. So
No,
yeah,
really not.
that was that, and that was AEW Dynamite, man. And with that being said, that is it for AEW for the week. as we have a word from our sponsor here at NHP. We got a word from W. W is an energy drink loaded with vitamins and nootropics formulated to improve focus without getting the jitters. W is a clean formula, sugar-free, zero-calorie, free from fillers and artificial colorings, with 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving. You can get your W products today with the link below and code NHP at checkout. Save yourselves 10% on your next W purchase.
Truly, always gotta shout out Dubby. Whether workout, whatever you may need the energy for, man. We're finally creeping on summer, finally, man. So if you guys want to be energized, want to have the focus this summer to do whatever you want to do and enjoy your summer, man, Dubby's got you. It'll give you the energy. You won't have the jitters. It'll give you the focus, and it'll stay good. It'll stay. You'll stay energized and stay focused, and it'll taste good all at the same time. Truly, always gotta shout out Dubby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As always, thank you and shout out to the great people over at W, the official sponsor of what we do here at NHP.
It is what we do.
Nas Reed is down. I got the score right here, man. 61-81. Not looking good for you guys, man. Not looking good.
Oh, man. Definitely know, who that is and what teams are playing, man. You know it.
The SmackDown after WrestleMania. Tiffany Stratton wins the U.S. title. Oh, poor Julia, I guess.
Dude, they made it so obvious. She didn't even come out with her side plates on the belt for that match. Yep. Ref fucking threw it up, held it up. No side plates, man. It was just generic WWE logo side plates. So you knew what was about to happen. Horrible, horrible fucking just production from WWE on that one to make it so blatant and obvious, man. I mean, they never did anything with Julia ever, literally ever. And Tiffany's your new Women's U.S. champ, man. So hopefully that means we could get something of value out of that title, but who knows?
Wild. I just need to know how Sean had the NXT crowd reacting to Julia, but Triple H can't seem to figure it out.
Dude, before she even debuted, her sitting in the crowd got a huge pop, dude. And then Triple H completely killed it at the second she got up, dude. When her and Stephanie were called up at around that same time, they were both equally as hyped up. And now Julia's just fucking meaningless on television due to Triple H. My God. Has that Women's U.S. title ever made it to pay-per-view still?
No.
I don't think so. Yeah, it never made it to pay-per-view still.
Wild.
Insane. We're creeping about 2 years of this thing.
2 years. Yep. We've had the title for a year and a half at this point, and it's never been on pay-per-view. Absolutely ridiculous. Tiffany Stratton's the new U.S. champion, I hope, being that it seems like Tiffany is a Triple H person, that Triple H seems like he likes her. Hopefully they could do more. I don't know what Julia did. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what she did to Triple H, but whatever it is, something didn't click, and for whatever reason, he always fucking hated her. And she never did anything. So, yeah, she, again, loses the U.S. title here. What is next for her? I have absolutely no idea. I have absolutely no idea what is next for her. But, hopefully something could be next for Tiffany, because that roster is too talented to continue to fuck around the way they are fucking around.
They are way too talented. I think they teased something, some type of breakup between Julia and Kiana Jones. So I'm sure the breakup is what's next for those two. And my God, that's all you got. The breakup with Julia and Kiana Jones. Brother, what are we doing here?
Which, even with that, we all know WWE is going to do Julia dirty again, because it's been, yeah, I was going to say, it's been in the news before that WWE thinks that Kiana Jones is the star of that pairing. So we all know where that's headed.
Good God, man. My God. Triple H and his priorities, man. Oh,
We have the Gingerbread Man attacking Trick Williams and Lil Yachty. Yes, Lil Yachty is still here. Lil Yachty says he's here to stiggity stay. He's here to stay.
stay, man.
Um,
Okay.
him and Trick.
They're a good pairing.
Yeah, I mean they're all right. I mean it's not an overly offensive pairing like Pat McAfee and Randy Orton. So I mean it is what it is. But they get attacked by the Gingerbread Man, who is Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn was dressed up as the Gingerbread Man, and he attacked Trick Williams. And people were saying this was the double turn. I didn't necessarily get that vibe. I guess we'll have to see how it progresses or what their tone is next week. But this was what they had for us, man. This is what they had for us. They had the fucking Gingerbread Man attacking Trick Williams. So
They should have had They
great.
should have had Sammy in that costume come out separately to the diss track they made, Gingerbread Man. They should have did that. I think that really would have got over, man.
Oh
But
yeah.
I was seeing that too. Oh, Sami Zayn turns heel and attacks. I was like, what?
I
He just
didn't.
did a
Yeah.
generic attack to the heel. Like I don't know what they're talking about here, man. So like you said, we'll see in the coming weeks how it does evolve. If they fucking do an AEW heel turn with Sami Zayn, he's just a monster dickhead after this for no reason, but time will tell, and hopefully time tells the right story and keeping them what they are.
Well, the two guys that predicted this whole dark side on Sami Zayn aren't even with the company anymore. Karrion
Yeah,
Cross and
that is
Aleister
true.
Black.
Literally, man, they had Cross do it, then they gave the gimmick to Black, and now both are gone. So I guess they just didn't like the gimmick overall, man.
No payoff here. None.
No
No
payoff,
payoff with the
none,
whole like prediction devil on the shoulder guys, I guess. Nothing.
no, no. Literally, they both just got fucking booted from the company for no reason. Great.
We have Danhausen defeating the Miz. After
How could they do that, man? This is the Miz.
Yeah.
This is the Miz maker.
Yeah. Yeah, he did the Miz maker. He did. He did. He Danhausen defeated the Miz after he broke into his house. He was swimming in his pool and he stole his daughter's bike.
Devious, man.
Bro, the Miz has
stole the
two
bike
pools.
housing.
The Miz has two pools, bro. I gotta admit, bro. I can't even lie to you guys, bro. This shit fucking popped me. The Miz has two pools in his house, right? So Danhausen's in the fucking hot tub, and the Miz tells him, "Get out of my pool." And Danhausen hops out of the hot tub and into the fucking regular pool. And then he's fucking driving away with his daughter's bike, and the Miz is gritting his teeth, mad as fuck. He's like, "This is my daughter's bike." I gotta say, man, the Miz can fucking make anything work. He can. And Danhausen just Danhausen, I gotta admit, him hopping into the other pool, that shit did pop me. I never lied to you guys. That shit actually did make me laugh, bro. I gotta give it to this fucking freak ass vampire. Again, I'll give most of the props to the Miz because I truly believe the Miz can make anything work. But I gotta admit that this whole little gag here on SmackDown did pop me a little bit.
I'm dead. Sometimes he can pop you, man. He's so absurd with the shit he does. Sometimes it will pop you, man. And the Miz just can make anything look good, man. He's great at that shit. No matter who he's with, who he's against. He fucking made Mellow Don't Miz work, which is fucking wild that group existed in the first place. And Mellow Don't Miz was pretty funny, man. So Miz can always make anything work, man. And he's making Danhausen work, man. And we'll see how it progresses, man. I mean, Danhausen is going to be outnumbered against Miz and what's his fucking name? I forgot his name. God damn it, Kit Wilson.
Kit Wilson.
Yeah. My bad, Kit Wilson. So we'll see who Danhausen recruits to aid him.
Hilarious stuff. We get the NXT debut of Fatal Influence. I wasn't really too familiar with this group. I was I'm kind of familiar with them. I wasn't. I guess familiar isn't the right word. What I'm trying to say, I didn't know that group would get that reaction that they got. They actually had a lot of heel heat. Now, this was actually, no, I can't even really say this was a post-Mania crowd because they were completely out of Las Vegas by this point. Yeah, they got a great reaction, and it shocked me. They got a really great reaction, and it shocked me, man. So, yeah, I'm interested. I know Fallon Henley is very good. JC Jane's pretty good from what I remember. From Evolution last year, I remember her being pretty good. But hey, I must say, man, I was very shocked. They put her in the ring with Rhea Ripley on day one. And then they had them attack the Bella twin or Paige and Brie and Charlotte and Alexa. So, they featured them pretty prominently. And it's nice to see a women's faction on the show. So, other that's not named the Judgment Day. So very, very cool to see, and I was very, very surprised by the reaction they were met with.
I was. I like JC. I've heard Fallon Henley's really good, so that's good to see. I don't know the name of the third one.
Lainey Reed.
Lainey. Oh, that's Lainey Reed.
That's Lainey,
Oh
yep.
shit, that's fucking hilarious, man. That's gonna be fun to say. But I like JC. And the group got a very good reaction. Didn't think they get that good of a fucking reaction, man. So it's good to see. I like that they're putting them all against people, either with gold or just, notable names in different divisions. I like that, and I hope they keep up with it. Please don't MCMG it where they go for the top instantly, and then creative fades out because they don't know what to do after that. Hopefully everything goes very good and smooth for this group because I like them.
Yeah. So hopefully they do end up being good on SmackDown, and hopefully they're actually able to be used. Speaking of call-ups, we seen vignettes for the two newest members of the SmackDown roster, Ricky Saints and Blake Monroe.
Good to see, man. It's good to see. Obviously, we always talk about Blake Monroe, man. Shouldn't even been in NXT in the first place, but they granted her that request, man. So very, very glad she's on the main roster, man. She, like we said, like I keep saying, man, I really hope that she could really show out on the main roster, and she's allowed to. Insane talent there, man. And I like Ricky. I really like Ricky. He's on the same show as his boy Cody Rhodes, so I think he's overall going to do well, and I'm excited to see what he does and who he faces on the main roster, man.
Yeah, I'm excited for both of them, man. I'm excited for both of them. Ricky Starks had a very, underwhelming run in NXT, to be honest. Not that I expected him to have like a monster run, but what they did with Ricky is, kind of what they did with Motor City. Not really. I mean, I guess they featured Ricky a bit more. What I'm trying to say, they put the championship on Ricky way too fast, to the point where the only place to go from there, is down, right?
Yeah.
So, they kind of just had him, floating around doing whatever. And it kind of, stunted him for a little bit. It kind of stunted, I guess his rise to the top. That I feel like should be more common in NXT rather than just putting the championship on somebody from the get go. I just think that's a better way. I don't know why nobody seems to get that down. But they haven't. And it did kind of halt his momentum again. You started to hear less and less and less about Ricky Saints, and it does suck because he's a very good performer. And I'm very excited to see what he could do on SmackDown. They obviously need people as a heel. I think Ricky could really shine. I think he could shine, and I think you can kind of give him the ball in a lot of situations, and kind of just let him run with it and let him do what he does. But I think I don't know. I want to say I think he'll do better on SmackDown, or want to say I think he'll do good on SmackDown. But at the end of the day, guys like Ilya Dragunov, guys like Carmelo Hayes, guys who, in my opinion, are better than him, are doing absolutely nothing. But Ricky has the card of being Cody's friend. You know what I mean? So I guess I hope that benefits him. But we will just have to wait and see on what exactly happens with Ricky Sainz. But overall, I am excited for him and at least see what he does as a heel on the brand, or even as a babyface. I think he could do some good stuff with a heel trick. You know, if you go that route, and again, if you do bring him up as a heel, you know, there are guys like Mello, guys like Dragunov that he can feud with and hopefully do some good stuff with. And then you have Blake Monroe. Blake Monroe again should have never been in NXT. You sent Danhausen straight to the main roster, bro. I don't want to hear nothing about no type of, you know, oh, well, she needed to pay her dues. If Danhausen didn't have to pay his fucking dues, then Blake Monroe sure as shit did not have any dues to pay. I think she should have just been brought straight up from the get-go. She's way too talented for that. Hey man, unfortunately, you know, the Vanity Project has lost a member already, man. So it breaks my heart. But excited as hell to see Blake Monroe on the main roster. She can have an amazing feud. Heel Blake versus Tiffany Stratton versus Rhea Ripley. I'm already petitioning for her to win Queen of the Ring. I think nobody really has any hype in the women's division, so you can make a star upon arrival with Blake Monroe, and have her immediately go for Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam. And whether you ever lose or win against Rhea at SummerSlam, you know, I mean, again, a loss to Rhea Ripley isn't going to hurt, but a win against Rhea Ripley will certainly do, you know, wonders. So I'm excited to see it.
I am very excited to see it. I would very much, in the same boat, like her to win Queen of the Ring on that side, and truly, you know, go to SummerSlam and face Rhea Ripley. I think that's a money feud right there.
She could be the first woman
Okay.
to win Queen of the Ring and a women's Owen Hart Cup.
It's true. That is very cool to see. That would be very dope, actually.
Cody Rhodes came out and cut a promo that was absolutely so uninspiring. This dude went out there and gave his little pot shots at TKO again. He talked about the agent, you know, that they're the guys, the agents that want to get involved in his stuff every year. He told them to bring their best or shut up and count their pockets, because they're 0-3 against him every year at WrestleMania. Cody, you know, I think you're 2-1. I don't think you're 3-0 against TKO. I think TKO has one victory against you. Pretty sure you lost at WrestleMania 41, buddy, but okay.
Right. You know, all right, they genuinely have a victory over him, but you know how Cody goes. Literally, Cody Rhodes just going out there yapping about the same old TKO shit, like anything's gonna change, and we all know it's just to basically prepare for the return of Randy Orton to continue that fucking that whatever it's gonna be. Hopefully, it's gonna be better solo. I really already don't care, man. So hopefully, they could bring my interest back upon return, man. But so far, just whatever, man. I would rather much have anybody as our world champion other than that scene right now.
Agreed. Jacob Fatu had a promo in the beginning of the show with the MFTs. Solo and Tamatanga were out there, you know, making fun of him, saying, you know, how can this guy even how can this guy expect to beat Roman Solo? He can't even beat you. And then, you know, they at the end of the show, Solo just completely soloed, no pun intended, he completely soloed the whole group. He took out every member of the MFTs, bro. Destroyed them.
That ass just buried the NFTs. Don't know really the purpose to any of that was. You might as well just hard kept put Jacob on fucking Mondays at this point, but they had to do that, I guess, just bury the MFTs for no real reason.
Yeah, doesn't it makes absolutely no sense to me, bro. Makes absolutely no sense to me. Again, unless you're gonna fucking fire all these guys like you did the Wyatt Six, what is the like? What honestly is the point? They do shit like that, and then they look back at the group, and then they wonder like why groups don't work. Well, when you have all the guys in the fucking group looking like complete assholes to one guy and getting fucking buried to oblivion, you couldn't have had Jacob Fatu go out and beat up Berto and Garza. It had to be the MFTs, a legit group on the show. Come on, bro.
Makes no fucking sense, dude. Makes no sense whatsoever.
So that was that. That was everything with Friday Night SmackDown, and this moves us over to Monday Night Raw from Laredo, Texas. Show opened up with a nice little video package with Roman Reigns and the Usos. Roman Reigns questions Jacob's motive to take away everything that he earned. Jay tells Roman that this is serious. Jacob is dangerous. He's off the leash. He says he took out the MFTs on Friday by himself. There needs to be consequences if he can't beat you. Roman shakes his head. He says, yeah, this isn't a charity. There needs to be consequences. You're right. I'm going to put my own spin on that, and I'm going to address that later tonight. This was the opening stuff, and we will get to a bit more of it towards the end. Obviously, these two close the show, but this was the opener. What did you think at this point in the night? What did you think Roman's own spin on the consequences was going to be that we, spoiler alert, never ended up getting?
Consequences in or can be very interesting. I really didn't even think about that, to be honest. From that opener, I just got the part where Jay, mentioned that if he, if Fatu beats Roman, he's gonna get everything. He's gonna get all the power. He's gonna get the Ulafala, and he kind of phrased it. It's like they're gonna run under him if he wins. It's kind of how Jay phrased it, which I think is very interesting. And then they had that really cool line of but did you hear what they called themselves at the end of that promo? It was very cool.
Well, maybe.
They called themselves the First Family.
Yes.
After the end of that promo, that was very fucking dope. I thought that was very cool. But I really just picked up on what Jay was talking about with, kind of if he beats you, he gets everything. There's got to be consequences. And just the way he was talking as if like he would just be running shit and Roman wouldn't be at that point. I thought that was just very interesting. I really think that was, and the way like the Usos kind of dapped up first and then like Roman was kind of just chimed in. It really feels character-wise like the Usos are kind of in with each other and doing something that Roman kind of just keeps like not picking up on, if that makes sense. Roman seems to keep stopping and be like, oh, okay, well, I guess we're doing this with the Usos. And it's interesting. I kind of like the weird dynamic they're doing right now.
Okay, I see that. What I gathered from this was when he said there needs to be consequences if he can't beat you. And then Roman said, yeah, this isn't a charity. I took that as they were going to announce, hey, Jacob, you can beat me. Because again, like you said, Jay told Roman, if he beats you, think about it. He gets everything. He gets he gets the title. He gets the Ulafala. So he mentioned all those things. Then he says there needs to be consequences if he can't beat you. I thought Roman Reigns was going to go out there and say, if you beat me, then you get the bloodline. You get the Ulafala, you get the title. But if I beat you, you have to fall in line. That's what I thought they were going to do. And honestly, the way they've been portraying Jacob, I would fucking love for Jacob to be in the bloodline with Roman and the Usos for a small period of time, obviously, before he breaks off and, maybe even is the one to beat Roman. I know a lot of people want it to be Oba, which I would be fine with Oba, but they got options. They got options here. And I think Jacob as, Roman's monster for a little bit would be pretty tough. Especially too, you could even still have it be Obafemi to beat Roman Reigns for the championship. Let's say Jacob were to join the bloodline, bring this whole thing out to SummerSlam, and then end up being the one to cost Roman a match against Obafemi. I think that, they got a lot of options. They got a lot of options. But when Roman said that, he said, I'm going to put my own spin on this and I'm going to address this later tonight. I thought we would be addressing what Jacob's consequences would be if he were to lose. Because again, Roman says this is not a charity, right? He's not just giving out championship matches for the fuck of it. If you lose, there's going to be some consequences. And we never ended up hearing what that was. Now we ended up getting, kind of a abrupt ending to the show with the way they chose to end it. So maybe they're gonna come back to it at a later week. But as for this opening promo, I thought it was shot great. Thought it was produced great, and I liked. Again, everybody wants to say we're right back to the same old stuff, but to me, the same old stuff is back to being the best stuff. So.
Man, that's why I can't wait to talk about what happened at the end, especially the start of Roman's promo, the way he talked about the title and whatnot.
Yeah.
I like that very much, and I think obviously you mentioned that do you think that they meant they were gonna say the consequences? I think they were, and I think those are gonna be the consequences, if I'm being honest. And I think they're just gonna they kind of just stalled a week to get closer to Backlash before they say that, because I could see that saying that to him the go home show next week to Backlash.
Yeah. And then that's and too, Jacob made it so sure that this is what he wanted. They could have done that, and then when they announced that, Jacob, could have a look of like, oh shit, I didn't think about that. Like, I didn't think about my consequences type of thing. So I could see them kind of going that route, and kind of upping the stakes for Fatu, because now Fatu's really got nothing on the line. He could say he wants something all he wants, but if he loses, there's no consequences. But once they spring those consequences upon him, he can have a look of realization like, oh shit, now I really need to win this, or else I got to listen to this asshole. So yeah, I like that. I actually like that very much. So, So we have Seth freaking Rollins next up on the show. Seth freaking Rollins, he comes out there and he does his shtick. He welcomes everybody to Monday Night Rollins. He calls out Braun Breaker. He tells Braun he gave him everything, and all you did was take everything away from me. He says, I just want to know, how did that benefit you? What did you get out of that? Braun then questions Seth's wisdom, saying, the whole time I was in the vision, all you had, what did you really do for me and Reed? Because the way I remember it, all we did was come out here and fight your battles every week. Every week you would come out here and regurgitate the same crap, and me and Reed had to stand behind you. He then starts mocking Seth Rollins. He held his nose. He plugged his nose and started talking like Seth Rollins. Hey, man, Braun Breaker, he's opening up some old wounds, man. I really don't want to remember all those fucking Monday Night Raws where Seth Rollins opened the show and quite literally regurgitated the same crap every week. And the poor Braun's had to stand behind him every week and fight his battles against LA Knight and the Usos every week.
Oh, dude, every week it was bad, dude. And Braun Breaker's not wrong in this. Like, every week, it was the most regurgitated promo. They would start with hearing that fucking theme song every week. You would hear that shtick every week. And it was horrible, man. It was so annoying. And Braun called it out, and I liked that he did. I liked what he said here, man. And man, I don't get Twitter, man, because they're saying this promo was bad and that Braun sucks on the mic, and I'm like, dude, What are y'all talking about? What are y'all watching, bro? Y'all love Jey Uso, bro. What are y'all talking about? This is a very good promo. I very much like what Braun said, and I very much like that Heyman straight just gave Braun the mic and didn't talk at all. I'm very happy for that. And I really like what Braun said. What he said was true. His fucking Seth impression was actually spot on when he plugged his nose, and I like the energy from Braun. I don't know what people are talking about, calling this bad, calling Braun a bad promo. I don't get where any of that's coming from. I don't know what they're watching.
I don't understand it at all either. And I kept seeing, oh, this promo sucks. Braun's so shit on the mic, all this, all that. I feel like we see a lot worse in WWE. I really do. I feel like we see a lot worse in WWE that goes unnoticed. To be quite honest with you guys, man. These are probably the same people that love Tekla promos. Okay.
Probably.
So again, to me, I didn't see it that way at all. I didn't think that this promo was bad, and I did, and Braun has always done that. So I don't even know like what people are really talking about. Braun always like mixes a little bit of like that, like he comes off like he's so hot-headed, he just does something funny, but he doesn't even like mean to do something funny, but he's just like he's such a hot-headed individual. He just comes off that way. You know what I mean? Like he gets so fucking he gets so worked up. He goes off and just does something funny, you know what I mean? But it's like he's not purposely like trying to be funny. I don't like Braun's always done that. Like I don't know why people act brand new to it.
I really don't get it. How can you go and you love Danhausen, but you don't like when Braun impersonates Seth Rollins? I don't get the correlation there, man. I really liked it. And another thing I loved that Reed and Highline, how he mentions, Reed, me and Reed were behind you. I
Yeah.
like that he keeps mentioning Reed as like
Mm-hmm.
his boy. I
Yep.
really like that.
Agreed. I did like the mentioning of Bronson Reed as well. Hopefully he will be back sooner rather than
Hopefully.
later because I miss my guy. But Seth, Seth recalls wanting to face Braun Breaker back in the NXT days. He recalls wanting Braun Breaker as a part of his vision. He says that him and Braun are very alike, but the difference between the two is every time Seth bets on himself, he succeeds. And every time Braun bets on himself, he gets Logan Paul and Austin Theory. Wow, harsh. Um, he, t-
Shit on
he
this
not
shit.
he didn't have to do he had to do Braun that dirty, bro. Jeez. He tells
Best part
Braun,
about that
uh,
The best part about that, there hasn't been a single interaction with Braun and those two at all since Mania. And
and
what is that?
the worst part about it, dude, is they were on screen together last week and they like hardly even like
They didn't
acknowledged.
acknowledge each other.
Yes, it was like
Mhm.
it wasn't even like like nothing. There's nothing there.
Not, not a mention there, man. So Seth's line was funny because he's basically like, yeah, look what the vision has become. Very funny line from Seth there.
Yes, just dude.
Just
It's it's it's
just take the
simple.
vision apart.
It's simple. Triple H, all you got to do is watch film, go back and change the play. Okay? What I mean is take Logan Paul, just make him a singles. Oh, he's okay enough now. He doesn't need to be with somebody. Just make him a singles. Make Austin Theory a babyface and put the fucking bronze with Paul Heyman. It's not hard. It's not fucking hard,
Literally
man.
that simple.
um he says he tells Braun he is simply not ready. Braun then tells Seth Rollins that he is the best at being number 2. Seth then proposes a match for Backlash, so Braun can prove if he is really ready or not. And the match gets accepted and confirmed for Backlash in Tampa in 2 weeks. I believe this is going to be a week from Saturday. Yes, a week from excuse me, a week from Saturday on May 9th. So there you go. We are getting Braun and Seth at Backlash.
Very
I've
cool.
been very happy with the build so far, and I think that I think they've been doing pretty good stuff. And overall, I'm glad they did wait to save this for a post Mania feud rather than building into Mania.
I'm very glad everybody was like, oh, why are they doing the Gunther match? Let's just, just have Braun back already, make the match, and it's a much better result. Like we mentioned that it was going to be if they just waited. So I'm very glad they waited.
100%. Later in the night, Seth Rollins goes to walk up to the Street Profits and thank them for what happened last week with them saving him. And they laughed at him and they said, Seth, that had nothing to do with you. That was only about the titles. They then laughed in his face and said that this guy really thinks he has friends around here. So that's the story they're going with, man. Seth Rollins don't got no friends. So I'm very interested to kind of see what this evolves into in terms of, who is going to eventually come to the aid of Seth Rollins.
Very interested with that, man. Very. And I like that, at the end of the day, even if, Street Profits weren't on that same show as Seth during the Vision, but, Seth as a heel ran the Vision and ran Raw essentially and was a dickhead heel. So I'm very much glad that he doesn't just have a bunch of happy baby faces helping him now because he's facing a heel. I'm very much glad his character has, consequences for the way he acted last year.
100%. The Judgment Day attacks Stephanie Vaquer.
Heartbreaking attack, man.
Heartbreaking attack. I'm assuming this may have something to do with the report that Stephanie was a little banged up. Maybe this is just going to write her off for, excuse me, for a little bit.
I could see that because Roxanne literally took a whole production crate into her. So I think that might, in commentary later tonight, mentioned something about a torn shoulder, some made up injury they just said that she suffered during that attack.
Yeah, so I believe this is going to be their way to kind of, get rid of Vaquer for a little bit. Speaking of the Judgment Day, Liv and Roxanne, they got to finish their conversation about Finn Balor. Liv was telling Roxanne, Finn put himself before the family. I know he brought you here, but we had to get rid of him. And Roxanne had a very pissed off look on her face the whole time Liv was explaining this to her. She kind of, she kind of gave it an okay answer, she understood or whatever, but then she asked she asked Liv to stay back in the clubhouse, and Liv walked away, and Finn snuck into the clubhouse.
Stuck in the clubhouse, man.
I don't know how he snuck in that fast without Liv Morgan seeing him. He tells Roxanne not to trust Liv and do not trust the Judgment Day. Roxanne actually gives a little bit of pushback, and she tells Finn Balor, Judgment Day are my family. You need to leave. I feel Roxanne is getting a lot of pushback now, but I feel this will come to play. Maybe Roxanne is a name that could win Queen of the Ring and challenge Liv Morgan for the World Championship at SummerSlam. And then once she wins Queen of the Ring, then maybe Liv starts to show those true colors and, really get her out of the group. Maybe they do something like that. Will they? Probably not. This is probably going to be a 2-year slow burn with Triple H. But, hey, at the end of the day, I like that we're not just, kind of breezing past the conversation that was to be had. So, I like it, and I didn't mind the inclusion of them again continuing up on, the Balor and Roxanne, connection here.
No, exactly. I'm glad they continued that. I'm glad they're still telling that story, man. And I don't think this one will take as long as these Judgment Day stories usually do. I feel like this one might be a relatively quicker one in terms of context, how long Judgment Day stories usually go on for. And I think at some point this year, and I could see it at some point during the summer, man. It could be, maybe it's at SummerSlam is when she turns on her. Either way, I think she's eventually going to turn on Liv sometime this year to want to have a goal for that title, man. I think that's the overall goal here, and I like that. And I like that they tied Finn back to it. I like how Finn, wants to warn Roxanne. I do like that, and I think a turn is coming, man. I think it is. And I think it's going to be a cool moment because I think they're gonna. I could see them trying to build it up to where maybe Liv really does believe Roxanne, and then obviously the turn happens. Either way, I think it will be faster than your average Judgment Day 2+ year story.
I think so. I think so, man. And I really hope, especially too, if they are really kind of shaping her up for that big 2026 singles push that we heard for Roxanne. Hopefully, it is sooner rather than later, and hopefully, it is this year. So, I can only hope for that. But with that, the Judgment Day defeated Bailey and Lyra on this show. This was a home game for the Judgment Day, as I believe Roxanne Perez. I knew she was from Texas, but the way this crowd reacted, I believe she could possibly be from Laredo, Texas.
Because I know commentary mentioned she had fucking 30+ family members in the crowd or something. Don't know how she paid for that, man. But I think it is her hometown. I think they said. What's up,
30.
Lonnie? How you doing, man? Yeah, they on commentary they said 30.
God, what up, Lonnie? How are you, brother? So they defeated Bailey and Lyra here today, as the Judgment Day picked up a victory, and Roxanne got the feel good home win, man. So that was that. That was that, and that was the what am I saying? That was the Judgment Day match for today's episode of Raw. This brings us to Penta versus Rusev. This was, basically without saying it, an eliminator match. Rusev was fighting for a number one contender shot at this title.
Basically, it was literally just a fucking Tony Khan eliminator match, and that's really all it was, man. And they still have that whole IC title circle around each other. Was Ethan Page on commentary for this match, or did he come out just to be ringside for this match? I don't remember if he was.
Corey got hype like he was going to be on commentary, but then he was just sitting ringside.
Okay, I thought that's what happened too, because he came out like, oh, I guess he's going to be on commentary, but he wasn't. I don't remember hearing him, so he wasn't. So that's a decision, but yeah, it was literally just the whole IC title circle around this, kind of the same thing as last week, just kind of reversed with, Javon coming in for the save and all that.
100%. 100%, bro. So Ethan Page, Penta defeats Rusev here, and then Ethan Page attacks Penta with Rusev after the match, and Javon Evans comes out for the save, and he helps Penta run the heels off. I wonder if we are going to be getting a fatal 4-way at Backlash with Page, Rusev, Penta, and Javon. I'm thinking maybe that's the route that they're going to go. But yeah, we shall see. But yeah, as for Rusev's number one contender shot, he failed. He did not win the eliminator match. But he still could be getting a championship match the way the way it's looking, man. So I gotta say it's very nice that Ethan Page is still, I mean, it's only his second week, but they're still keeping him, I guess, around this little mid card circle that they have going on. So I love to see that, and I'm glad they're using them. I gotta say though, in terms of call-ups, bro, holy shit. SmackDown completely won. They got Ricky Starks.
Yeah.
They got Fatal Influence. They got Blake Monroe.
Yeah,
Fucking Raw gets Joe Henry and Ethan Page. Ethan Page
God,
isn't even a bad pick, but like Joe Henry.
Joe Henry. Joe Henry. That's really, man, I can't wait to get into that, man. But I do think we are going to get that Fatal 4-Way. I could totally, with the way that segment ended, I'm sure next week we're going to get a tag match with Penta and Javon versus Rusev and Page, and then both teams are going to dissolve. They're all going to brawl, and then Fatal 4-Way announcement. I'm sure that's the exact path to get to this Fatal 4-Way. I'm sure of it, man. And either way, I like it. I like that Page is around this circle still. Again, second week, but still, it's nice to see him around this. And I definitely think they are setting up that Fatal 4-Way, man.
For sure, for sure. Lonnie says Lakers in 5. You know, brother, you might be right, but there is no way. I would like to think there is no way they're making it past the Thunder. There's no way.
No way, man. I
But
believe it.
in terms of Houston, yes. Either you guys are going in 5 or 6. Probably 5. But Becky Lynch. Bro, well, let's just get to the promo.
Oh, man. Oh, God.
Becky comes out there. She says, history is made now that AJ's title reign is done. She says, this business is about coming to rundown towns like Laredo, Texas, competing for common folk like all of you. Listen, the cheap heat normally doesn't surprise me. You can always see when it's coming. This one did throw me off guard. I kind of chuckled at this. That was very smooth, I must say.
I think it worked for Becky this time, and I was thinking the same thing because she was like saying about how she wants to, be a fighting champ and she was saying like the stuff the crowd wanted to hear, but at the same time, burying the crowd. That's the way you do that shit, that fucking like this town sucks shit. Like she was like saying, I'm gonna be a fighting champ. I'm gonna be here every week, saying all the things they like, but at the same time burying the crowd. That did get a pop out of me. I was like, that's funny.
It was. Yes, it was. I must say. She says, this title is about being a fighting champion. It's about coming to run down towns like Laredo, Texas, competing for common folk like all of you. She says she is going to issue an open challenge to anyone in the back. Anyone that has, excitement. Anyone that has excitement, new, fresh talent. Io Sky then comes out. I thought it was going to be Sol Ruka. I was wrong. It was Io Sky.
I thought it was too.
And Io accepts Becky's challenge. Becky says no. I asked for a new star. I asked for somebody exciting. Or unless you're out here to announce Rhea Ripley, I asked for Shawn Michaels, not Marty Jannetty. Marty Jannetty is just constantly getting disrespected, bro. God.
Damn, man. You to be known as like the obviously
failure.
what she says there, the failure in context to your tag partner who's like one of the greatest of all time.
Man.
That must suck, dude. That must really suck to be
You're
like
a verb in that sense. It's gotta be
exactly.
Being a verb in that definition is just diabolical. I must say.
Really unfortunate, man. Like, damn, that's your legacy, is the guy that didn't work out next to one of the greatest of all time. That's rough, man. That's rough.
Very, very. So, yes. So she goes to walk off, and Adam Pearce stops her, and he makes it official. That is going to be for the IC title, Becky versus Io. The match ends by Becky defeating Io because of help from Asuka. Asuka straight up just came down there, whipped Io's ass. They attacked Io, and she, finished the attack after the match, and they just straight up announced the match. In other words, we lost the person who was in the middle of the feud. Now, again, the whole crux of the feud is gone because the whole point of the feud was Io was trying to get Kairi away from Asuka. Now Kairi's gone. What is the point of this feud? So it's almost like they just said, fuck it.
Just do the blow off match.
Just do the blow off match, which I'm going to be 100% honest, bro. You might as well have just moved Asuka to a different brand after they move Asuka to SmackDown and just act like the shit just never fucking happened. I mean, you just should have at this. I mean, I appreciate the effort to try to give it some type of proper ending, but you fucked this so bad, man. You probably were just better off moving Asuka to SmackDown as soon as you release Kairi Sane, and that just being the end of it.
100%, because it's just the obvious cheap. Just let's blow this match off. Just have her attack her. Don't mention anything about anything, and we're just gonna do the match. Like, dude, it makes the match so much less meaningless. And you might as well just bury it and kick the dust on it and send one of them to a different battle. You could have sent Io to the same brand as Rhea and continue that shit, because you were screwed the second you fired Kairi Sane, bro. So you screwed yourself with this whole story. They're gonna have the blow off match, and man, for what's next after, who knows, man? Who knows? One of them gotta move brands at this point, man, because the fact that this blow off match is happening just is not good. And dude, they were on. The fans were chanting, "We want Kairi tonight" at certain points, and WWE is muting it. What do you think people are going to chant during this match at Backlash? Just for you to mute it?
Yes.
You know what they're going to chant. So just don't even do the match in the first place, because you're literally going to spend that whole match muting the chant, telling Michael Cole they're saying, and he's going to say something stupid that they're not saying at all. You're just going to make yourself look like an ass for no reason. Should have just not done this match. Should have not done this match.
Well, 100%. And I'm never an advocate for saying, oh, you should have just dropped something, right? There, you should always have enough decency to finish what you started. But here's the problem. Again, you release somebody who was the whole point of the feud. Again, like I said, she was the crux of the feud. And the whole reason I said you should have just dropped it and sent Asuka to SmackDown is because during this match at Backlash, what is commentary going to have to ad-lib about this story, why this match is taking place? Because this whole beef is because of Io wanting Asuka to treat Kairi Sane better. Now, Kairi's gone. Again, Sir K mentioned the chants. You're going to have to mute those, or you're not going to mute those, and you're just going to look like a complete ass for the whole match. So you should have sent Asuka to SmackDown. Again, I think you can't really send Io to SmackDown, only because Rhea, you kind of just wrote that off. And then too, you can open the door. Maybe you can tell a story with Asuka and Julia. You know what I mean? Maybe you can have Asuka try to take Julia under her wing and get her away from Kiana James. You could do something there. You know what I mean? Asuka does present some pretty fresh mashups over on SmackDown with the likes of Blake Monroe, Kiana Jones, Julia, Tiffany Stratton. I don't think we've seen Tiffany Stratton and Asuka. So there's a lot of there's more fresh matchups over there than and again, you just had Rio say goodbye to each other. So I would I wouldn't want to shorthand Monday Night Raw that bad. So that's just what I would have done, because now this whole thing at Backlash is just going to be a complete waste. If anything, you should have just announced Io Asuka tonight, got it over with, and just been done with it.
If you wanted to blow it off, you should have just done it tonight. And they're asking, and like you mentioned, dude, imagine you're Michael Cole and you have to just make up shit for 10 minutes on commentary about the match, and like it would just be muscle memory at that point. You just be like, the history between Asuka and you. I would accidentally bring her up, because they don't want even though they own the rights to just say Kairi Sane's name, so they could just mention her, but they won't, because they're weird, and it's just it's horrible, dude. They're setting themselves up to just look complete asses.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Sergey, did you mess
Logan,
up, man?
Logan, man, this has been a joke for like a year now. However long she's been back,
Has Logan
we've
been
been
hanging
getting
out
the
with Flex too much, dude?
yeah,
Is he
bro.
starting to have partial memory loss?
This has been ever since whenever Kiana Jones came back. You messed up her name the one time, the first time, and that's just been a running joke ever since, man.
Keon Jones.
Kiana Jones, she's Kiana Jones.
So I think Logan's been I think Logan's been swatting around. He's been swatting
What?
around with Flex a little too much, man. I don't know what's going on here.
So I think
It's
so, man.
ridiculous.
Maybe that's that WWE brain rot for you, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So also Becky Lynch probably should have just dropped the championship. To well, a correction.
You never
AJ,
want it.
yes, AJ should have probably just dropped the championship to somebody like a Bailey, like a Roxanne, like a Lyra, somebody a little, it's not to say that Becky isn't gonna do anything for the championship. Becky has what else can Becky Lynch do for the title at this point?
Exactly. It's the opposite problem. It's not like she has nothing to do. She does have nothing because she's already, like you said, done everything. At this genuinely, we especially with the way everything went with that build up for the match or the matches themselves, no matter how decent they were, this title should still be in that Bailey, Lyra, Roxanne, all that should be in a whole separate different circle
So
from Becky Lynch at this point.
what
Exactly.
which is why I was kind of counting on Sol Ruka to come out here tonight and answer this open challenge, because I was like, oh, okay, this will be good if WWE had Sol Ruka come out here and win the IC championship, because it would be, Becky Lynch being overconfident, and then she ends up just hot shot losing the title, and then at that point we can have a fresh new champion, because there is nothing else Becky can do. It's like Cody Rhodes in the WWE Championship. Like, I'm sorry, there's nothing else Cody Rhodes can do to elevate or help that WWE Championship other than being away from it for a little bit. It's nothing.
That's that Triple H problem, bro. He keeps like Seth with the World Heavyweight title, man. He even like Seth mentioned in his promo, obviously he wants to go for that title still, which is good to keep saying you want to go for the world title, but like he's been around that thing so many times. I don't want to see Seth with that title. I don't want to see Cody with the world title, and I don't want to see Becky with that IC title, bro. It's like the same people just win the same titles over and over again with Triple H, and he needs to learn balance and different people winning these goddamn titles.
100%. 100%. Joe Henry. Holy
Me,
fuck.
dude.
Yeah, we're in for a rough
Oh
one.
man,
We're in for a rough one.
it's
Holy.
gonna be. I will say though, they don't realize how short he is gonna last. I will say that,
You think so?
dude. I mean, look how long Elias lasted for. He was over for what, 10, 11 months. I don't think he's gonna be over for that long. I really like. At least with Danhausen, they could make him interact with different people and do different things and have like different little segments with Danhausen. With Henry, it's gonna be the same segment every week of just the same Elias segment every week like we got tonight, dude. It's gonna be that, but every single week, and it's gonna get old fast. It's already old for me personally, but I think it's gonna get old with these fans fast.
Bro, oh man, I certainly hope so. He is such a terrible act, bro. He genuinely is a terror. Man, I seen him in the ring, or right beforehand when they said, Michael Cole, he's still calling him Joe Henry. He's like, Joe Henry, he's in concert next, and I started dying immediately because I'm like, oh my god. And then during commercial, internationally, Michael Cole said he was a quote Henryite, not a
I
Hendryite. He's a Henryite.
fucking love Michael Cole. Oh, dude, after this, after we talk about Joe Henry, I gotta talk about the other Michael Cole fuck up. We'll get Henry
Oh my,
first, man. But dude, he is goated on comms, bro. He really is,
he is. He is. Him and X. We need him and Excalibur on a fucking commentary
dude.
in a booth together. I need it. I need it,
That might be
bro.
the greatest commentary duo of all time.
Between Joe Henry and fucking Malachi back, they would have me dying laughing, bro. My
Fucking
God.
hell. Joe
Malachi Beck.
Henry, man. Malachi Beck.
Dude,
Henry.
Joe Henry is in the ring. He's singing about coming to Monday Night Raw. He's singing. He says he's official on Monday Night Raw or whatever the fuck he's saying. He then starts singing about, them firing Logan Paul. Michael Cole was more entertaining during this segment than Joe Henry was. Michael Cole singing, dude. Oh, bro, that was killing me, bro. Michael Cole does not respect, bro. He was completely making fun of him. He knows this shit is ass.
When Michael Cole is just like doesn't give a fuck and he's just laughing his ass off.
Bro.
Dude was singing, he was laughing. Oh man, that's not good, man. It's
Dude.
not good when Michael Cole chimes in on the joke.
Michael Cole's making fun of this shit damn near. Logan Paul comes out there, and bro, Logan Paul and Michael Cole were both 1,000 times more entertaining during this segment than the guy that was hosting the concert.
He really was, man. I can't lie, dude. These past few weeks where Logan Paul comes out absolutely heated,
Oh,
they kind of pop me, man. Him being
it's the best.
absolutely fucking heated at the simplest shit is funny, man. He plays that very well, man. He does. Unfortunately, fucking Theory's just next to him, looking like a dunce. But
come on.
Logan Paul plays it off very well, man.
Come on, man.
But
Come
sorry, he does though. I'm sorry, Theory had to catch that. You know what? Speaking of Theory, dude, I literally just during Raw watched that old promo someone posted on Twitter of KO just absolutely burying Austin Theory right after that segment aired. I was like,
dude,
oh man,
that was bad.
look at this dunce. But dude,
come on, man.
Logan Paul popped me. I can't lie. Him coming out
Dude.
fucking fuming, it gets me. It gets a laugh out of me.
No, 100%. He was more entertaining than the fucking guy hosting the concert. Him and the commentator, Logan Paul and the commentator, were more entertaining than this fucking novelty act, Joe Henry.
Dude, oh man, it's gonna be so bad over time. Oh, I can't wait for people to hate him.
Oh,
I'm salivating at it.
Oh,
I'll
dude.
be at the funeral.
I can't wait, dude. This guy's he's really nothing more than a concert. Elias was better than this anyway. Yes, Elias was better than this.
It's just the Elias segment every week. Yes, that's what I fucking told y'all. That's what we told y'all it was gonna be. But okay.
His finisher is a choke slam, bro. You got me there. No.
You're not fucking with small guys doing the choke slam, man.
No, his
great.
choke slam looks fucking terrible.
What? Man, I think it looks amazing, man.
Dude,
I think it looks amazing.
Logan Paul was giving this motherfucker body shots, and I was dying, bro. He was hitting the shit out of him, bro. I was laughing my ass off watching Logan Paul give Joe Henry these body shots, bro. They're punching him in his stomach, treating him like a piece of shit. And then the Street Profits come out. What the fuck is this? What is this? Joe Henry and the Street Profits. Two acts I really don't care for. Wonderful. This is the perfect. How the hell do I like? How the hell is the act that I like most on my screen The Vision?
Dude, how is Logan Paul specifically, not really Theory, but how is specifically Logan Paul the best act out of all of them on TV at once, bro? I'm not even a big Logan Paul hater, but like, dog, what the hell? And like even the Street Profits, I'm not even a Street Profit guy, but like, how are you worse than the Street Profits? Like as a character, man, that's crazy. I hate Henry's character. He
Ugh,
was out there singing and Joe Henry signed a Raw and fire Logan Paul. I was like, bro, what the fuck is this shit, dude? And
terrible.
it's gonna get worse. And literally the four type of Elias segments we're gonna get every week, dude. I'm sure. I bet. I wouldn't be shocked if next week Logan Paul tries to attack him with his own guitar, and at some point he is going to get that guitar smashed on him every other third week, dude.
Oh, you already know
It's
it.
going to get so repetitive.
You
It's
already
going to
know it.
get so repetitive.
So, what I okay, one thing that really turned me away from Joe Henry from the start, because I did like the guy at first, you know.
Hey, I didn't mind him. I was like, okay, I'll give him a shot.
One thing that turned it wasn't even really the singing shit that turned me away from Joe Henry at first. It was watching him in the ring, bro. His moveset.
He's horrible.
He's absolutely terrible in the ring. Did you see that fucking suicide dive that he did? Did you see
He
that?
like fucking jumped on his like he like sat in the air. If that makes you know what I
Yes.
mean? Like
He
he like
jumped.
oh.
He like used the top. That was like the most unathletic thing I've ever seen in my life, bro. He did like an unathletic Brutus ball. Like,
Yeah, he
it,
like just hopped over the rope on his ass and
yes.
just went ass per. Literally, like that's like how you are at 12 years old at Sky Zone when you jump on the trampoline too high. It's like, dude,
How
dude, I just can't wait
unimpressive.
for him to get exposed. I can't wait for him to get exposed as a fucking loser in the ring.
Oh, come
God,
on.
I can't wait. I'm praying on his downfall, dude.
I
Never be
seen
there.
that. I swear I didn't know he did that, bro. For me, what got me at first, bro, was that choke slam. When I found out that was his finisher, I was like, all right, I'm kind of onto this dude. I got to see how he is in the ring. And then I watched this motherfucker in the ring. I'm like, all right, this dude kind of sucks. And then I see this. This is my first time ever seeing this, bro. That is one of the absolute worst things I've ever seen in my life, bro. That is an absolute terror to watch. And then this dork basket has the audacity to start screaming afterwards as if he just hit like a fucking game-winning three-pointer, bro. What the do not scream after that. If anything, put a fucking paper bag over your face like you're undashing Cody Rhodes, because you should be ashamed and not want to show your fucking face after you just did that bullshit. That piece of shit ass suicide dive, bro. Get out of here with that.
That ass screamed in the camera like he was Kurt Angle diving off the fucking stage, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, you ain't shit. You're a fucking shitty Elias. Get out of here with that bullshit, bro. Don't catch me with that. The fuck?
Screamed in the
Horrible.
fucking camera.
Oh, man. Oh, man. I can't wait for him to fail. I can't wait.
Oh
I'll be
my.
happy.
This act is so shit. I is this it's every and then he's feuding with Logan Paul, and somehow he's going to make Logan Paul look very good. He's gonna make
Oh, dude.
he's gonna make Logan Paul look very watchable. Which, not that
He
Logan
is
is unwatchable, but like
just a vision we're talking about.
nine times out of 10 when you're up against the Vision, you're the star of the
You're the better man.
yes, you're the better
Yeah.
act. He's going to make the
Exactly.
Vision look like the better act every week. That is terrorism.
That is quite literally terrorism. He is committing acts of domestic U.S. terrorism being on Raw, dude. They should
Holy.
dead ass have us in Ready or Not arrest Joe Henry and escort him out the arena.
Oh man.
Horrible act. I can't stand him.
Rey Mysterio defeats El Grande Americano.
They are setting up that mask versus a mask match.
Yep, they're setting it up as Rey took the metal plate from these guys, as I guess this was a storyline way for them to make this a clean match and make sure that neither one of the El Grandes cheat at their AAA show, which isn't taking place at Triple Mania. It's actually happening, I think, May 30th. So we are finally, hopefully, going to get Chad Gable back on May 30th.
hope so, man. I really hope so. People love Ludwig's fucking El Grande. It's fine.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I don't care.
Oh,
Just get
all I
yeah,
care about.
yeah.
Yep, all I care about is we get Gable back. That's all I care
I
about. I'm
I
happy. I'm down.
I don't really give a fuck. I don't care if you want to keep him in that mask for the rest of his career. Be my guest. I was never really one of those people anyway that wanted to see the big breakout Ludwig singles run. I don't really care for it personally. If you want to fucking keep him as a Mexican American German luchador for the rest of his life, I really don't care. All I ask, please give me Chad Gable back. I swear on my life, if Gable wins that and they unmask Ludwig and revert him back to Ludwig, I'm gonna fucking lose it. I swear I'm gonna lose it.
I'll buy a ticket to one of these godforsaken shows, jump the barricade, and rip that mask off myself. Because my God,
Legit, bro. I've had enough.
I've literally had so. I just want Gable back, dude. I really do. I want Chad Gable to face Rusev. I want him to face Javon
Yes.
Evans.
Ethan
I, I,
Page.
I, Ethan. I want him back
Where's
in
this
that
group?
circle, please.
How did they make it
Dude,
past the releases?
dude, for real though, I don't know how they made it past, and hopefully that means that they have a plan for all of them when he gets unmasked.
I hope so. I certainly fucking hope so, dude. Let's see. We got Obafemi defeating Grayson Waller. If you're wondering why this happened, it is because Obafemi overheard Grayson Waller calling him overrated. Like
God,
overrated.
Walter's such a dud.
I don't know how he made it past either. I really don't. Really don't.
I mean,
I don't
there's
know.
really nothing with Waller. I mean, I didn't mind him when he first got called up. I was like, okay, you might have something here. And then over the time, I really didn't see nothing from him. I don't really get the purpose to him on television. He's pretty useless. He's not a complete dud, you know. He's
Yeah.
no fucking Joe Henry, but like he's still not that useful either.
Yeah, he's pretty good at drawing heat as a heel, but yeah, you can find
Yeah,
somebody to do it better. I think. No offense.
100%. No, exact. No offense, but like you can.
Uh, Obafemi defeated Grayson Waller. I don't know who would have guessed that one. Um, but Obafemi defeated Grayson Waller, and he then announced the Oba Challenge. Oba says every champion is locked down with all their new challengers. So he's going to give people an opportunity to step up and test their skills against him. Every week he's going to be doing the Oba Challenge.
Triple
Nice
H,
going,
bro.
Paul.
He
Nice.
Paul just
So
can't do it.
when you had a idea for when you had an idea for when you had an idea for Obafemi, defeating Brock Lesnar, you didn't think at all like, okay, guys, we obviously want, Oba and Brock's the easy part, right? Oba and Brock's the easy part. I want Oba to go over. What do we got for Oba after, right? That's the hard part. What are we going to do with Obafemi afterwards? Not a fucking shot in the dark, I guess. Not no thoughts. No thoughts running through Paul's head. I guess that was that I guess that was that was what he had. That was what he had,
Yeah.
man.
That's all
Yeah,
he
no.
had is the Oba challenge. Literally just gonna be nothing squash matches for the next how many fucking weeks for no reason, man.
Which
Instead,
go ahead.
like they could have easily done like maybe a one-on-one multi-match feud with anybody, literally anybody on the roster, man, just to kill time. And this is what you do: a nothing open challenge where he's gonna I know the absolute schmucks of the schmucks are gonna be in a 2-second match every week with him for no reason.
Which Oba asking people to step up, I don't think was the way to go about this at all. I think if you wanted this to have any purpose, what you would do is have Oba call out the obvious and say, look, I'm going to do an open challenge because I want my skills to be as sharp as possible, and I need to test myself against the best this roster has for the upcoming King of the Ring tournament, because I plan to win it, and I plan to challenge for a world championship at SummerSlam. But until then, I need my skills to be sharp. So anybody who's willing to step up, I'm willing to sit you back down. Give it purpose. Don't just say all the champions, they don't want to do anything. So, I'll offer free matches. Again, give it purpose, give it meaning, which again, it's still an open challenge. I mean, it still is not the best idea in the world, but at least if you're going to fucking do it, have Oba give a reason as to why he's doing it. What, he's picking up slack for champions?
Yeah, like what? What is the story? The story is literally, yeah, all the champs are busy, man, so I can't face one of them. So I'm gonna have all these schmucks come out here and just lose to me in 2 seconds. What is that, bro? What is that?
Yes, you can have Oba say King of the Ring. The King of the Ring tournament is going to start in about a month, early June, mid-June, somewhere around there. I want my skills to be sharp. Every week, I want the best this company has because I plan to declare for the King of the Ring tournament, and I want to stay ready so I don't have to get ready, pretty much. You could have ran that whole kind of thing. Again, it's still an open challenge. It's not the best idea in the world. You should have had creative, by now, especially, but you didn't. You could have at least give it some kind of purpose and at least give something people to look forward to. Like, oh, okay, Oba's not gonna, be, doing much now. He's still gonna be on TV, but he set his sights on something.
Exactly, but nothing. Just a generic open challenge. Whoever wants me can come face me, brother.
Goodness sake. We have a Sol Ruka vignette.
Very cool.
And we have LA Knight warning the Usos about getting corrupt and getting all their power with the bloodline back. He says, Jay tells him to mind his business. And LA says, when you guys get too corrupt, it becomes my business. Triple H's got to have a nick for this, bro. He's got to
love it. He's got to have a fetish for fucking LA Knight just getting beat up by factions and having to deal with faction warfare, man, as a solo guy. It makes no sense. I like that LA, told them, you guys were better off after Roman.
Yeah.
I like that. But, but brother, man, it's just going to be just LA Knight versus whatever bloodline there is. Even if we do get that dream Fatu and Usos group, it's still them gonna probably be beating up LA Knight at some point. You know it.
100%, bro. So yeah, that is that was that segment, man. Again, if LA Knight becomes feeding territory for the bloodline again, I mean, all hope is lost, bro. I mean, genuinely, all hope is lost, dude. I mean, what in the world would we be doing at that, bro? I really hope they do not make him, again, just meal for the bloodline. But this is Triple H, so I'm not gonna put anything past him, man. But yeah, he really does. He really does have a nick for getting LA Knight involved in faction warfare to get his ass, even though he's never been a part of a faction. He in WWE, he just loves fighting them and getting his ass fucking beat down every week.
Literally, he loves LA Knight versus big faction where he just gets beat up every week, man. Remember last year when the Vision literally put him on a car? Yes. And dude, that shit was bad, dude. It was bad.
Buried that man.
Buried him. Bronson Reed fucking destroyed LA Knight, bro. It was bad.
My goodness sake, bro. This leads us to the main event segment of the show. Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns comes out sporting the brand new Air Bloodlines.
Very nice.
Very
Very
nice.
dope to see, man. I like it.
Very nice. Very nice. I think those come out in May. I think.
Shit.
Maybe come out in the end of May. So, Roman does his shtick. He asks Laredo to acknowledge him. He says, they made this title in spite of me. But what they forgot, it's not the title that makes the man, it's the man that makes the title. And now you can acknowledge this title. He also mentions bringing the title into the main event. Into the main event of night 2. He then gets interrupted by Jacob Fatu. Roman says, I'm glad to see you again, Jacob. He says, I gave you a week. Hopefully, you chose to unite the family. Jacob says he didn't need a week. He didn't need a day. He didn't even need an hour. What I need is that title. He says Roman must be stuck in his main event bubble. He must be stuck on tribal chief land. He says Roman didn't grind like him. He's uncut with it. He's all raw with it. Please, we need you all raw with it. We need you not SmackDown with it.
Exactly. I need no SmackDown with it. Please abandon that show.
He says 12 years of suffering, not knowing where my next meal was. So when y'all was up here being the bloodline, I was broke, foaming at the mouth, grinding on the front line, trying to figure out if I was going to be here or not one day. He says, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. He says, they got me, and now they got me standing here in front of yo ass. He says, before WWE, none of you called me, but Solo called me and gave me a chance. Roman then said something very interesting. I would love for Fatu to go over to SmackDown and just kind of like confront Solo about this. Roman says to Jacob, he says, either you're completely confused or you're dumber than I think. He says Solo couldn't get a cup of coffee delivered to the arena if he wanted to. He says the OTC runs this place. I never forgot about you. I'm the one who signed off on your ass. He says you don't deserve it. You haven't earned it. He says you haven't earned it. He says you getting to face me, that's nepotism. So you mean to tell me Roman signed off on how does that make sense in storyline sense now?
I think what Roman meant, because he said the same thing about Punk to Punk, is like, the company went to me asking if, if this is like a good idea and if you're cool with it. That's what he said to Punk, and he's like, yeah, I'd let you come in. And I think that's what he means in the same context to Jacob. Not that like Solo went to him or nothing, but like as the champ, kayfabe wise, he runs everything. So they probably were like, hey, would you be cool with Jacob coming? And he was like, yeah, you can come over. I'll allow that. So that's what I took, because he said the same thing to Punk. So I just took it in the same context. He said to Punk, it's like, I allowed you to come into this company. I ran the company when it happened, so I let it happen, that whole thing.
Okay. And then, yeah, I can see that. That makes sense. I will say,
it's interesting.
It is interesting. Well, it is interesting, and it is a little off. It is a little off balance, because it's like Roman I'd say it's a little off balance because on one hand you have Roman shooting on like a real scenario, and then you have Solo trying to kind of, or you have Jacob trying to kind of keep kayfabe alive, saying, we all know the
Talk to me.
kayfabe reason.
Yeah.
Solo called me here, which we all obviously fucking know. Solo didn't call Jacob and get him a job, but it's like, it's the speaking in kayfabe, aspect of it, and then you just have Roman out here completely, kind of breaking that and being like, yeah, nah. So I get that. I just wish there would have been a little bit more, I guess,
Consistency.
yeah, consistency, and like, again, you got one guy shooting and one guy speaking in kayfabe, so that again was kind of a little like, huh. So when Roman said that's nepotism, Jacob Fatu grabbed him by the throat or by the chin, and Roman clunked him with the microphone. Jacob was able to get his lock back in, which is Haku's Tongan death grip, and on Roman's chin. Roman Reigns sold the shit out of this. This dude's eyes were like bloodshot red. He was like barely breathing at the end of this. And he says to Jacob, he says, Jacob, you want me at Backlash? I'll see you at Backlash. Jacob then says into the not into the microphone. He says it into the camera. He says, I'm not waiting till Backlash. I'll see yo punk ass next week on Monday. So the match is all but confirmed for Backlash, as again, a lot of people, I've seen it all week. Everybody likes to complain about, WWE's running back the same thing. Yet this is the most interesting thing on Monday Night Raw. So I see what you guys are saying.
Yeah,
However,
I
get it, but these guys in the bloodline don't miss, bro. These guys in the bloodline don't miss. This is always top tier storytelling. And again, this whole different take on the feud with Roman and Jacob, just being in their feud now, it's something I've asked for a long time, and I've been loving every bit of it so far. Again, I'm very interested because in the beginning of the show, Roman had mentioned that, there needs to be consequences for Jacob, and he's going to put his own spin on it. And I'm interested to see what the consequences for Jacob do end up being. Again, I would like to see, either you can beat me and you can take the championship, or you have to fall in line and acknowledge me. I think that's the way they're going to go. I think that's the way to go. And I'm very, very stoked to see it, man. And again, for all the complaining that's being done about them, rehashing the bloodline story, I've been loving it so far, man. So again, it is definitely the best part about Raw for me. And I loved what they did here, man. I really like how we're going back to, not that they ever went away from it, real hard or anything, but like, I love how we're going back to Jacob just being this fucking unhinged psychopath. It kind of reminds me of, kind of the role they had him in, when he first came to WWE, but he didn't really talk then. He just he said, I love you, Solo, and he threw up his one. Now, again, we're seeing Jacob talk, but still implementing that psychopath, kind of character around him, which I've been loving. It's really the best of both worlds for Jacob Fatu's character.
It really is, man, and that's another thing I've been glad to see, dude. I've been so glad to see full contextual, story-driven Jacob Fatu promos, man. Because we mentioned it, early or when we were talking about Dynamite and Kevin Knight, man, with people that they're stuck in a loop, whether it's the company or whether it's them just being catchphrase demons. And for a while, Triple H had Fatu in that period on SmackDown, where every week all they would have him do is go out there and say, I'm all gas, no breaks with it. I'm all raw with all that same shit every fucking week, dude. And that's all they had him do. So I'm just very glad we get to see him on a mic, just cutting a full story-driven promo, because he's fucking amazing at it. And I'm finally glad he's able to do that, man. I'm very happy for that. Very glad we're getting a real story with Fatu. And I love it. I love the direction they're taking it. I think the direction you mentioned is the direction, especially with like how like kind of Roman was like, wanting to make sure he was hot headed with this decision, and Roman was giving him a week, and Fatu said, I don't need a week. I was ready then. I think that is really like there's a caveat to this that you don't know yet, that I think it isn't gonna hit until he's kind of already took that leap of faith, and he's in it now, man. So I very much like the direction I think they're taking it, and I think that's what's going to happen, man. I think that's going to be the context of the match, and the consequence to it when he essentially loses at Backlash. And I think he's going to be stuck with on the same side as Roman and the Usos, and I think it's slowly going to devolve into maybe the Usos getting tired of Roman too, because LA Knight earlier the night mentioned, power corrupts. It happened with Roman before. I think it's going to happen with Roman again, and with Fatu in the circle this time already, character-wise, not liking being with Roman. I think we are going to get what you mentioned, is the Fatu and Usos group, whether that happens at SummerSlam, before SummerSlam, post SummerSlam. I think that's the overall goal for the summer, is have Roman be champ, power gets to his head, and this time, before it gets too out of hand for too long, the Usos join in against dealing with that shit. And I think they are going to align with Fatu at some point. But I think for a while, Fatu is going to be stuck with Roman and the Usos, man. I can't wait to see that story unfold. I like it. I like what they're telling, and I can't wait to see how it unfolds, man. But I love that. I love the end of the show. I thought it was really good. I love Fatu. I'm so glad he could cut promos. Just is allowed to cut full story length promos, and I like they ended the show, man. I really did. And the tongue grip, the death grip. Roman sold it amazingly because he's great at that. If I want to be honest, I hope that's not like Fatu's new thing, because I didn't like the way it looked, in the moment. Obviously, Roman sold it really good. I did not think it looked good in the moment while he was applying it, in my opinion. I hope they don't kind of make that his new thing, personally.
Yeah, I was I do like it. I do, if they were to kind of have him kind of reinvent it and make it a Fatu thing. I did like it. I just was a bit confused at what he was doing at first. I wasn't sure if he was like grabbing his chin, or I also wasn't sure if he was like, grabbing him by his throat. And then I was thinking I'm thinking to myself is he gonna talk like while he has him brushed up against the ropes and it's like choking him out or something. But then he dropped his mic, so I was like, okay, what is doing? Or what is he doing? I mean, what I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is this guy doing, bro? And then when they said, this is Haku's Tongan death grip, I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, all right, this is a Haku move. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that's kind of cool. If they wanted him to rehash it. It was very sloppy at first, because I'm just sitting there like, what in the world is going on here? I was confused at first as well. So I get the criticism for sure.
Oh yeah, because like if they reinvent the move, maybe like get used to doing it more, definitely. But at first, it looked like he was just like grabbing his chin, and that's all it kind of looked like to me. It really didn't look like a death grip. I would like very much if it's either completely on the face, if his hand is completely like on his like face and like squeezing his face, or if it's completely on his neck and squeezing his neck. I didn't like that like under chin look. It looked like he was about to fucking make out with him. I did not like the way it looked. So I hope if they do continue to like do that and evolve that, I hope it looks a little better than it did. But Roman sold the shit out of it. So at the end of it, I was cool with it because Roman was like fucking damn near puke and spit up. He sold it amazing. So I was like, all right, Roman made up for it.
100%. 100%, man. So yeah, I thought they did a good job on the main event of Monday Night Raw tonight. Again, building hype for this, and I'm assuming we're gonna get more, if not we're gonna get good, if not better stuff next week. Building into the go home show to Backlash, so I'm excited to see what they have in store, man. But that was everything for Monday Night Raw. That was everything for Monday Night Raw. That was everything for SmackDown, and that was everything for Dynamite, and that was everything for the beginning segment of the show, which was us kind of covering the newest batch of releases, the full batch. Now that we know the full batch of releases, so yeah, man, that was that was everything, man, and that is gonna do it. That is gonna do it for this edition of that is gonna do it for this edition of Unscripted, man. This has been episode 297, and that is gonna do it, man. Thank you guys so very much for everybody who joined us in the live chat, Logan, Lonnie, as well as everybody in the replay mafia. Thank you guys as always, and yeah, man, that is it, and it's been always a pleasure for my Johnny.
And I, Sir K.
And that is going to do it for this edition of NHP. That is going to do it for another edition of Unscripted. And with that, thank you guys. We love you guys. And we'll see you all on Friday with the news.
Peace.